Three shows in 3 days. Another day, another show. We got this time the Raw episode from November 29th, 2004. This is one of my favorite Raws of all time. This was an amazing show. And Icy Tro, how you doing, man?
I'm great. I'm doing amazing.
Yeah, just went live on your other channel, getting your ass beat on
I
Black Ops.
wasn't getting my ass beat.
I was watching the stream. I was
And I
watching.
wasn't getting my ass beat. The only time I was getting my ass beat was during that freaking third or fourth game where I kept on running to the same motherfucker,
And yeah,
laying his ass on the bed.
yeah, you all of a sudden started bitching about camping. Oh, they're camping too much. They're camping too
No,
much.
no, 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 no. That was on the second to last game, and all I was saying is that I don't understand why people are camping during a beta.
It's
I don't. Uh, it's strategy. I just don't personally agree with it. But I'm not going to be like, oh, don't camp. It's like, it's whatever.
right, and
If you can camp. I guess it's annoying.
and you will be going. You said towards the end of your stream. Well, actually, not. I don't know towards the end. It was after I asked you when you were going to be ready, and you said you were going to go live once again right after this stream, right?
Yeah, I'll probably head back live after
So
this
what?
is done.
Yeah, I'll link that in the description for anybody who wants to watch Tro play. What is it? Black Ops 6. The game's called.
Yeah, the beta.
Okay, Black
Yeah, the
Ops
beta.
6 beta. Okay. So what are your thoughts on the November 29th, 2004 Raw? Randy Orton is your GM for this show, by the way. What are your thoughts?
I thought it was a very fine show. Little Tro was not watching at this point. Little
Right.
Tro was it was just past my birthday, so
Lil Tro was not so icy back then.
no. This would have been '04. You said?
Yeah, oh 04. 2 years.
So
Oh, well, a
my
year.
birth
Pretty much a year before you started watching.
yeah, so my birthday this year would have been freaking seeing the SpongeBob movie in movie theater.
Oh, okay. Do you know who sung the theme song at the beginning of the movie?
Pirates?
Not Pirates.
Nope.
Avril Lavigne.
I'm sure. Yeah, that was back when she was a thing.
Hey, no. You're booted. You're booted. That's
No,
it.
hold on. Do you know what a movie that she did in the year 2006? What
Yeah,
animated movie she was
over
in?
over the hedge. I watched it. That's a
Oh,
good
there
one.
you go. Yeah, because one time I put it on and I saw the freaking cast credits and I saw her. I'm like, oh, Frank would love that.
I'd probably seen it around the time you said that. How long
Yeah.
ago was this?
2006.
No, I mean, how long ago was it where you?
I know, a couple months ago. I'm like, oh, Frank probably. What if Frank knows about this?
I don't. I have no idea if it might have been because I seen it a couple months ago, but don't know.
The YouTube algorithm brought everyone together to watch Over the Edge.
That's where I watched it too. That's where I watched it because it was at the time it was nowhere else on streaming. It literally just went to Hulu and came off like a while ago. But at the time there was like nowhere else to watch it, so I watched it on YouTube. I don't currently have YouTube Premium, sadly, so I had to
Well,
back out.
could have been a free movie.
It was a free movie,
Yeah,
but free with ads still, sadly.
well, that's
But
right. I
with
have YouTube
YouTube,
Premium, so I don't know.
with YouTube, and they're probably gonna hate me for this. And we're trying to get on YouTube's good side. We're trying to become YouTubers, right? But YouTube's probably gonna hate me for saying this. When the ads play, I just back out, go back in, back out.
You
Back.
know that you're doing that, by the
Yeah.
way.
Oh, I know, but it works. If it works, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, apparently, if you back out, they tailor it to you having shorter ads
Yeah,
as to try to get you not to back out.
yeah, that's not gonna work. And one of
Yeah, I
these
mean,
days,
I have YouTube Premium, so I don't know.
yeah, one of these days I'm gonna resubscribe, especially now that they have a yearly subscription. I'm glad that they do. One of these days I'm gonna buy that because I hate
It
ads.
is it is worth it. Just it is worth it if anything else, just for the ads and being able to listen to videos without having to have your phone out.
Yeah, Yeah, I had it about at this time last year. I had it for a couple of months, and it was fun, man. Not having to worry about it. Yeah, we're not having to worry
Yes,
about bills. It felt so good.
let's promote YouTube. Let's promote YouTube Premium some more to get
That's
them back
where,
on.
yeah.
Get them more on our good side.
This video is gonna get thrown into the algorithm because we're promoting YouTube Premium.
You know what
Although,
else we should promote? YouTube Premium is pretty good, but you know what's even better?
what?
Raid Shadow Legends. If you download our app and you use code FCTENT, you get 15% off a random ass monster.
Do not use that code. We are not a big enough YouTube
Damn.
channel to be. We're not. I don't even count. Like, do you even count yourself as a YouTuber? Because I don't. For me, because we're not big enough to be considered
I
YouTube.
mean,
Anybody,
I count myself as a a small YouTuber,
right? Yeah, but
tiny YouTuber.
anybody can like make a YouTube account and broadcast on that or YouTube channel and broadcast on that channel. But like, if you're not big enough to where like YouTube is giving you money, that you're not. Just don't count you a YouTuber.
Well, it
That's
used to be that anybody could make money, but then the fucking apocalypse happened, and
yeah.
they made stupid requirements for it.
Yeah, how much cents do they owe you again? Like 30 cents or
They
some
owe me 85 cents.
85 cents. Okay, good
As I
number.
was
Good
as
number.
I started making money again, they decided, yeah, no, we're gonna stop doing this whole anybody can make money off of our shit stuff.
So YouTube, I mean, if you guys somehow come across this video, over there at the headquarters, y'all owe Icy Tro 85 cents.
Yeah.
And
Speaking of coming, does your dick not work? Well, then use Blue Chew.
isn't that more isn't that more uh 83 weeks and all those
That's
wrestling
more. That's more. That's more any Conrad Thompson thing.
Conrad Thompson, yeah.
That's all he does. Does your dick stop working? The Undertaker. I know your dick stop doesn't work anymore, but have you tried Blue Chew? Hey, Kurt Angle. I know you won the Olympic gold medal with a broken freaking neck, but have you tried to have sex without freaking Blue Chew?
So Conrad really put them as his sponsor just to make the joke, right? It's all he does when they
Yeah.
do a sponsor.
Well, that and Me Undies. I remember when Me Undies was used to be.
That is such a weird.
It was like just random ass underwear. Like, does your underwear suck? Well,
No, I
don't
remember.
worry. Shit, we'll ship you underwear. That'll totally work. We swear.
Yeah, I remember that.
Pair, pair it with Blue Chew. You'll be great in bed.
Okay, so the November 29th, 2004 Raw. Let's keep everybody up on what's going on here. So at Survivor Series 2004, it was Team Evolution with Gene Snitsky taking on Team Orton, which I believe contested of Orton, Jericho, Maven, Benoit. Am I forgetting somebody?
Nope, and Morton himself.
Yeah, I said Orton. So the winning team, because Eric Bischoff needed about a month off here, the winning team would get to be GM for a week. Every one member of the team be you know GM for a week, and this would be the last show. Actually, Randy Orton would be the final GM. Eric Bischoff would be back next week, which is kind of a big deal when you see how this show goes off the air, because Eric Bischoff, storyline wise, is coming back to a crazy situation. We will get to that now. Maven, when he was GM, gave himself a title match that he failed to win. We'll get to that because that's very important towards his character development on this show. And Eugene and William Regal are coming off a tag team title victory over La Resistance. They are your
Wow.
they are your tag team champs. I'm bringing that up for a reason as well. And the show is supposed to kick off with a battle royal. every male wrestler in the Raw locker room except for Randy Orton, I guess, because he was not in this match. He's in a suit, obviously. He's
No.
front office for this match. But hey, Maven gave himself a title shot. Why not Randy?
Well, he can't.
So the match, this battle royal is supposed to be for the world title. Triple H is supposed to be in it. So the show kicks off. All these wrestlers are in the ring. Clearly, you know, a battle royal is about to happen. Then Batista comes out. He joins the fray. And then Chris Jericho comes out. He joins this battle royal here. And then JR is like, well, there's only one guy left. Here comes Triple H. Let's get ready. Triple H is coming out. Mr. McMahon's music hits. And Mr. McMahon says, I know a lot of you are excited to see Triple H defend his title in this battle royal tonight. Well, that's not going to happen. Because, as he says, anybody can win a battle royal. So he says, look, Steven Richards could end up becoming world champion tonight.
He already was, though. He wanted a WrestleMania, Vince.
I knew when I brought that up, you were going to make the joke.
Yeah, no, what joke? Steven Richards, Stevie kicked Triple H and pinned him at WrestleMania. We just covered Stevie Richards versus Triple H at Vengeance.
Well, I believe Steven Richards is in the main event of this show. Then a little bit of a spoiler.
Yeah. He
Uh,
did the drag queen freaking gimmick and became world champion all at the same time. Crazy how that happens. My
so
question is, last we checked in on these guys, they were all Evolution was all together.
I
What's
no,
happened?
no. Randy Orton's now a babyface because
What?
our last pay per view we covered was obviously Vengeance 2004.
Yeah.
Triple H loses to Benoit. Well, guess who Benoit's? In fact, it was a number one contenders battle royal that was won by guess who?
Orton.
Randy Orton. Yes, and Randy Orton becomes the youngest champion in history, doing what Triple H couldn't do, beating Chris Benoit. Obviously, that makes Triple H a little jealous. So Randy Orton gets the thumbs up after winning the rematch. It was a rematch against Benoit. The next night he gets the thumbs up, and then thumbs down. Orton's out of Evolution, and that's where we stand right now. Orton is a
Well,
babyface, and he
well,
is
at
your
least they have Eugene.
yeah. No, Eugene ain't with Evolution no more either.
Oh man, he was honorary member and everything.
He was honorary member until the end there when Eugene and Benoit were fighting over the chair. Eugene won the chair and ended up the the it bounced when he pulled the chair away from Benoit. He ended up smacking Triple H over the head. So obviously, then and there, Triple H and Eugene and Evolution was over, and it was Triple H and Eugene who face off at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
Eugene with a high profile Big Four pay per view. How about matchup? How about that?
that is a great lore. We've now learned the lore of people who might have been watching our last review and wondering what the fuck happened since then.
Yeah. So yeah, Mr. McMahon just downright picks on Steven Richards. He could have said
Poor
he could have
Steven
kept going.
Richards.
He could have kept going. There was so many guys in that ring where it could have been like, yeah, Rosie, may he rest in peace. He could have been like, Rosie could be world champ.
He
Maven
was
could be world
Samoan.
champ. Yeah, Maven could be world champ. But no, he just said Steven Richards, and that was it. It's like, let's pick on Steven Richards.
Poor Steven Richards had to do that freaking horrible angle at Unforgiven. He's like, it could be Steven Richards. And fuck, Steve, he just fires him on air. You're fired. Fuck this shit.
So, well, Vince once did something, he did not exactly fire somebody, but he once did something real crazy like that in front of a whole crowd. Where at a house show, it was Rhino against somebody else, and like the match was going horrible. And Vince just came out and said, both you guys get the hell out of the ring. Right in front of the crowd in a house show. And it was not in character. It was not Mr. McMahon. It was Vince McMahon telling him, you guys are stinking up the joint, get the hell out.
You guys fucking suck.
So, so after making, after bullying Steven Richards, he says, yeah, Triple H is not defending the title, but in this battle royal, but he will defend the title later tonight because this battle royal is now a number one contenders match, and it starts now. So that's the end of that number one contenders battle royal, and this was a damn good battle royal to start the show. First off, Batista at one point goes, all in. He's eliminating everybody. He knocked Val Venus over. He knocked somebody else out. And then, like, Ric Flair is standing at the ropes, taking a breath. And Batista, not realizing it's Ric Flair, just turns around, boom, knocks Ric Flair over the top rope. And Ric Flair sold it so well. He's like jumping up and down. He jumps up on the guardrail. He's like, what the hell, Batista? What the hell? So obviously, it is November. Next week's going to be December. They're obviously building towards WrestleMania already. There's already dissension in the trio now of Evolution. Batista clearly looking for the world title. And he doesn't, and obviously it was a mistake, but he was so into it that he knocked Ric Flair over the top rope, didn't realize it was Ric Flair. But Ric Flair damn sure wasn't happy, and we'll see more of that later tonight. And the match, not the show, the first match of the night. It's not going to be the end of the show. The match ends with Batista, Edge, and Benoit as your final three. Benoit gets Batista over the top rope. Edge comes in. I think he knocks into Benoit, who knocks out Batista. And then Edge and Benoit go over the top rope, and they're fighting like on the edge of the apron. And then they just jump both at the same time and land both at the same time, feet first, onto the ground. The referees come in. The old, when they do a finish like that, it's one ref thinks one guy won, the other ref thinks another guy won. The two guys who were involved like, I won, and no, I won. So they do that little finish there, and they're just setting up drama. And it's setting up drama that's going to end the show on this night. It's very dramatic. That's why I really love the Battle Royal. You had the stuff with Batista that was obviously setting up eventually your WrestleMania main event.
Yep.
And then this ending here with this dramatic who won type of ending. I give this Battle Royal 4.5 stars. What do you think of all this? The McMahon picking on Steven Richards and the Battle Royal.
So you're spot on with the whole Batista. This is the start. This is the slow start of the build for that down the line, because the week before, Benoit was in charge, so Benoit booked himself for a cage match against Triple H.
Right.
Triple H knows that he can't beat Benoit, so him and Batista and Ric Flair all come together with this elaborate plan to make it look like Batista attacked Triple H, took him out.
Yep.
At the end of the night, it's revealed like, it's all part of a plan, but Triple H sneaks in, but you should have beaten Rhino, and it cuts to Batista. He's like just pissed off.
Yeah.
So then when it's announced, Orton comes out with the Royal roster at the end of that show and says, "Oh, Battle Royal next week for the world title. Everyone's in the match, even you, Batista, and Ric Flair." And Batista just smirks like,
"Yeah,
okay."
Yeah.
So yeah, this is good build, good slow build. If I'm Rady Orton at this point, I'm like, uh-oh. I don't think I'm winning that title back anytime soon. Right. If they're doing this for Big Dave now.
Yeah, obviously not.
No, but it was, it's actually ironic that they do a double out for this battle royal, considering how the Royal Rumble ends in a shoot fuck up of everyone touching at the same time.
Right, that would be the next year's Royal Rumble, not
the
Rumble, yeah. Which was
close. Rumble.
Yeah. It was coming up. We're only a couple months away from that. Well, really, we're only a month away from that because November's pretty much over here.
Now, if they really wanted to tempt fate, they would have had Vince McMahon come down. My quad! He tears his quads here, not at the Rumble.
Yeah. So
God damn it, Orton!
so when the thing in the ring with the refs arguing who won and Edge and Benoit arguing who won, that goes to a break. We come back to a break. They're showing replays from different angles of them both hitting at the same time, and then they cut to the GM room, and you see Eric Bischoff like, "Hey, wait, I'm on vacation. What are you guys cutting to me?" No, they cut to Orton, who's who's, who's
He's having some blue chew. He's just like, I'm relaxing, guys. Well,
so then
this would have been he would have been bald at this point. Like he would have been growing his hair back because
yeah,
he
this would
lost
have
it against
been
Eugene.
this was after a Taboo Tuesday. Yeah, yeah.
Skull cap, Bischoff here.
Mr. McMahon saying you're as gray as a ghost. That was hilarious.
You're a fucking son of
so so it's Orton in the GM room with two referees, the two referees from the match. One guy says, "Look, Edge clearly won." The other ref says Benoit clearly won. Orton's like, "Well, I guess I got to figure this out on my own." The referees exit. Mr. McMahon comes in and he looks at Orton and says, "Looks like you got a tough decision to make." To which Orton says, "Yeah, he's got his opinion, but what do you have, Mr. McMahon? What are your thoughts on this?" To which Mr. McMahon says, "Doesn't matter. My opinion doesn't matter. You're the GM. It's your call." And then Edge comes in, pleads his case to Mr. McMahon. He's like, "I should be the one who gets the title shot here. Benoit's feet hit first. I won the match." And Mr. McMahon pretty much tells Edge the same thing. It's Orton's call. And then Mr. McMahon leaves, and Edge and Orton stare each other down. Edge is like, "Listen, I know we don't like each other, but please don't screw me over like I was screwed over at the aforementioned Taboo Tuesday pay per view." If you remember, and it's pretty wild for WWE because WWE did not do this on purpose, but the three choices to face Triple H at Taboo Tuesday have all won the Royal Rumble after entering at one. They're the only three to do it. WWE did not have it planned in 2004 that Edge was going to win the Royal Rumble entering at number one in 2021. But once that happened, that meant all three you could vote on the face Triple H. All three of them have won the Royal Rumble entering at number one. The only ones to do it.
Yeah.
And so,
And Shawn Michaels wasn't even supposed to win that poll
yeah,
apparently.
he was hurt. He was
Yeah,
hurt.
according to Edge, he says he was supposed to win it and like win the world title. I'm inclined to believe him, but at the same time, I'm not because what sense would it? Because he was already heel. He was already in the process of turning heel at that point. So
It
I don't
feels
know.
like it feels like a weird time to put the belt on Edge,
Yeah,
especially
especially after he just. I mean, unless Orton came out, but Orton Flair main evented that night, so I don't know.
with WrestleMania right around the corner.
I mean, they could have had Triple H take the title back, but
Yeah,
even
yeah.
I don't know, weird.
So so yeah, or Edge is like, "Don't screw me over like I was screwed over at Taboo Tuesday." Which the whole Taboo Tuesday thing is kind of like when Jericho beat Austin and Rock on the same night, and he ran with that and like got so much heat off it. Edge ran with the fact that the fans did not vote for him, and he used that to get so much heat. It was smart of Edge.
Yeah,
So Edge is like, "Don't screw me over tonight like I was screwed over at Taboo Tuesday." So he keeps pleading his case to Randy Orton, and Randy Orton continues to say, "I'll think about it. I'll think about it." He keeps telling them that he's like, "I'll think about it." And at the end, Edge says it one more time, and Orton walks away. He's like, "You know what? Okay." And just as he's walking away, he turns back around and says, "I'll think about it." And that was the end of that segment. I gave that segment a 10 out of 10. That was a really good segment. What do you think about this?
I thought it was fine. It's crazy to see. But it's cool to see the dynamic switch from the last time that we saw these two.
Yeah.
Edge now the heel and Orton the face.
Right.
Um, it's nice to keep the continuity of Orton not really liking Edge and Edge not really like Orton because why would they like each other? And Orton at this point probably would be more inclined to give it to Benoit, seeing how he's not buddy buddy with Benoit, but he respects him enough to be like, he probably does deserve it more than you, Edge.
Right.
Even though overall Edge does deserve the title shot more than Benoit because Edge had not gotten a world title match at this point, so he does deserve it more than Benoit.
Right. And so there's a reason why I brought up. There's a reason why I mentioned that Maven gave himself a title shot when he was GM, and it's all building up to something. This is a part of his character development on this show, and this is the segment where it all starts. Although technically the battle royal is where it all starts, but here is after the battle royal. It's Maven and Shelton Benjamin backstage. Maven is sitting there, woe is me, talking about he's had two chances to become world champion the past 3 weeks, and what has he gotten? Absolutely nothing. So then Eugene walks in. Eugene has the tag title because, again, he won it last week with William Regal, and he's got a Eugene plush doll. At this point in 2004, WWE was kind of making like plush dolls for certain wrestlers, and Eugene had
Yeah,
one of them. So Eugene's walking around with his plush doll. He's got the belt, and so he walks over to Maven. He's like, "Can you put this on for me?" He's talking about the belt. He doesn't know how to put his tag title. So Maven gets mad. And one of the reasons why Maven is so mad is because Eugene is actually the guy who threw Maven out in the Battle Royal. So he's like, "You eliminate me from the Battle Royal, and now you want my help to put this title on you, this belt on you?" And he's about to like go off essentially on Eugene, and Benjamin finally gets up. Benjamin has not done anything in this segment at this point, but he gets up. He's like, "Leave him alone, calm down." And Maven says, "Listen, I've been busting my ass for the past 3 years, and I have nothing to show for it." So, hardcore title, and wasn't he tag champs without Snow?
no,
Oh, well, the hardcore title means nothing to Maven. So he has nothing to
well,
show. Yeah. What was
he
that?
actually has a lot to show.
What does he have to
You
show?
see, have you? He loves to show off his money.
Yeah, yeah.
This is how much I made. I'm surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he made a video about this very second. Here's why I turned heel in
Oh,
2004.
you spoiled it. You spoiled
This is why I turned. Well, no, yes, he did turn heel eventually in 2004 later. But this is why I turned heel in 2004. This is how much money I made.
Yeah. This is why I was so mad at Eugene after he threw me out in that battle royal.
Do I still hate Eugene for throwing me out of the? I call Nick Densmore up, and we find out. I wrestled in the final WWF
Yeah,
match
that was
on
yesterday. I watched
TV.
that. I watched.
I know. It's him with a hobo bag and leaving the WWF.
Yeah, I watched that video yesterday. It wasn't the final televised WWF show. It was the actual final show. It was a house show, and yeah, he wrestled on that.
Oh, do I regret anything? No. I'm not bitter about winning tough enough and doing jack shit.
So, so Maven says he's been busting his ass for the past 3 years and he's got nothing to show for it. And this guy, Eugene, is sitting there. He probably can't even spell title, and he's got one. So Eugene's like, I can spell, and he spells title like as slow as he can. And then that just irks Maven. Maven gets up. He's about to knock Eugene out. Benjamin stops him again, and then William Regal comes in. And he's like, "It was a battle royal. Every man for himself. You would have done the same thing." And everything calms down, and that's pretty much the end of that segment. I give that about a 7 out of 10. It was good character development for Maven, but I just not really that interested in Maven. A great YouTube channel. I'll say that. Great YouTube channel. And I mean that he's an entertaining. He's
Yeah,
entertaining on YouTube. But him as a heel, and like if I don't like you as a heel, then that just means I'm really not interested in you, man. I'm sorry because
he should have dropped. He should have used the drop kick in the battle royal. He would have won.
oh yeah, he should just drop kicked everybody. That's right. Well,
Yeah,
he tried to drop kick Undertaker in 2003, and he turned around in 2 years in a row and
well, that's
didn't
because
let it happen.
Undertaker had a plot armor of being the last person returning, the person returning in the match. So,
Yeah. So what do you think about this segment? Maven, Eugene, William Regal, Shelton Benjamin. What did you think about this segment?
it's great to see Eugene again. Long time no see, Mister Eugene. We didn't see Maven at all in our last run, so it's
That's
great
right,
to see
Maven. Where was Maven during that run?
where I was during the Road of Vengeance.
he must
This
have
is what
been
I was doing.
he must have been doing the heats. He must have been like on
Yeah,
heat every week.
my legendary heat run during the Build to Vengeance 2004. For 3 years, for 4 years, I was living my best life, working on heat.
So now we have Randy Orton backstage. He's just walking in a suit. He's just walking down the backstage area to it, and then he is stopped by the WWE's new makeup artist. You know who that is?
Um, it's not Savon. It's not Savon Garnet because he would have been on
No,
SmackDown.
no, and he didn't start doing
Um,
that gimmick for like 2 years. Well, at least 2005 actually is when he started. That next year.
it wasn't Simon Mean because he was
Nope.
fitness.
Yeah,
I don't know who.
you're in the wrong. You got the wrong gender.
I don't know who is it. What random ass diva was it?
It is Candice Michelle.
Oh yeah, I would have never
So
guessed her.
So she says she lets GM Orton know that she has been hired as the new makeup artist for the WWE, and she wants to know if the dress that she is wearing is appropriate for corporate WWE because it's showing a little bit of up here. And Orton says, "Look, you're fine. Don't worry about it. You're perfect. There's nothing wrong with that dress." And then Benoit interrupts this, and he's all mad about the situation going in with this battle royal. He's like, "We're supposed to be running this show. We won at Survivor Series, and blah blah blah, this and that." And it was a very passionate promo. You got to give Benoit credit here. Very passionate promo out of Benoit, which that's he can get passionate. Um, there was a lot of
Yeah,
really passionate moments in the ring from Benoit, so I'll give him that. As much as I bash him for being, really not that much outside of just being a wrestler, he gave a lot of passion in this promo right here, yelling at Orton and, like, what are we going to do about this battle royal? To which Randy Orton says he's going to go to the ring right now and he's going to give his answer. I give this a 8.5 out of 10, mostly for Benoit cutting a passionate promo on Randy Orton there. What do you think about this segment?
I thought it was fine. It's cool. It's cool to see Orton and Benoit together after everything that went down at SummerSlam and the night before.
Mhm.
But no, because when Benoit wants to be, he could have been a good promo, but he just needed the right motivation to do it.
Yeah, yeah. And so now, like I said, Randy Orton gonna come out. He comes out on stage, and
Hey,
oh yes, he comes out and on stage to that amazing song that is way better than Voices. Burning My Light. Love
he
this.
didn't like it though. That's the funniest
I
part.
don't understand why I didn't like it. It was so good, and it's
You
hit.
mean you don't think he'd like? Hey, there's nothing you can say. That change what you've done to me. Now it's my time to shine.
And it seemed like he was rocking with that group Mercy Drive at this time. Mercy Drive was after he won the world title, he used a Mercy Drive song for the vignette of him winning the title, his little celebration video package. So it seems
Now,
like,
to be fair, Legend. I mean, the Burn on My Light worked for Killer Randy Orton,
yeah.
but Voices works for the Randy Orton that we got when
Oh
it
yeah,
debuted.
oh
The
yeah.
different, like, because the evil version of Randy Orton that we got in '09, I don't think it would be fitting if it came out with, "Hi, remember when I punted Vince McMahon in the head? Remember when I DDT'd Stephanie in the head and gave her a kiss? There's nothing you can say that can change what you've done to me."
Oh, absolutely. That song fits his character way better, but just from song to song, not song versus song, not counting like if it fits the wrestler or not. "Burning My Light" is a way better song. Um, so yeah, Randy Orton's on stage. He announces the world title isn't the only belt that is going to be on the line tonight, because Randy Orton is putting himself in a women's title match against Trish Stratus, and that is your main event tonight on Raw.
Hell yeah.
No, obviously, we mentioned Regal and Eugene have just won the tag titles the prior week on Raw, and that will be the next. That'll be the other title match because La Resistance have invoked their rematch clause, so it will be Eugene and William Regal taking on La Resistance in a rematch from the prior week's Raw. He then says Orton, that is, then says that a Raw announcer will be wrestling tonight, to which they cut to JR, and JR's like, "Oh boy, here we go."
Oh shit,
Oh.
here we go again.
And Randy Orton's like, "JR, calm down. It's not you, because we have a birthday boy in the building."
Oh my god, it's my birthday! No! I can't believe they found out, Frank. And they're a few days late, but oh my god!
Yep, and then you see, how old were you at?
I was born in '97. This is '04, so
Yeah, so like
it's
6 years old, Tro
six
6 or 7.
coming at not even watching wrestling at this point. I'm like, ah, la di da 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 da. I don't know who the fuck you are. La di da 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 da.
No, the birthday boy ended up being Jerry the King Lawler, and it is announced by Randy Orton that Lawler will be taking on Ric Flair. And as if you've seen the thumbnail, you already know that that is the case because the thumbnail is Jerry Lawler dropping the fist on Ric Flair, and yep, that's that match. Now, as he gets to the world title situation, Orton says, you know, if it's just Edge versus Triple H, or if it's just Benoit Triple H, then there's a 50% chance that Triple H will lose the belt. However, if Triple H faces both of them,
Oh
then the
boy.
odds go up a little.
Now we needed Steiner math here. You see, you take the 25% no chance that you have with Triple H is in the match alone with Chris Benoit, but then you add me in. The facts, you see, Randy, the facts don't lie, and they spell doom for Triple H.
Steiner Math by Tro. By Icy Tro.
I see. You throw in the fact that Triple H hasn't beaten Benoit at all in 2004, and then you throw in that he hasn't even faced Edge, and the chances of Triple H winning go straight down.
And that is when Randy Orton announces that your main event for tonight will be a triple threat match for the world title. I give this segment a 9 out of 10. Orton just essentially running down what is left of the show. Also, by the way, Flair and Lawler, he says, is going to take place right after the next match. And right after Randy Orton announces triple threat main event, the music hits for the next match. But before we get to that, Icy Tro, what do you think about this segment?
Yeah, it's awfully convenient that Jerry Lawler always comes in with his friggin' gear on. He's always commentating with his gear on, or that'd be awfully awkward. But no, I thought the segment was good.
Yeah,
I'm
never.
sure this probably gave Triple H PTSD, like another triple threat match with Benoit for the world title. No,
Well, that's sort of going to be a reaction of Triple H at the end of the show. Spoiler alert. But hey, like they say, always bring your gear, right?
I wanted JR versus Ric Flair. Why can't we have that match?
Jr. putting the boots to Ric Flair.
He's giving him a stunner. Fuck you, Ric Flair. You know how I was the head of talent relations during that fucking plane ride from
Yeah,
hell, you motherfucker.
Jr. just starts shooting on.
No, no,
I
take that.
just I was just watching In Your House Cold Day in Hell yesterday because that was a pay per view I'd only watched like one time and haven't seen in a while. But and I've said I've been in a '97 mood lately. But if you think Shamrock and Vader was bad, oh man, wait till you watch Jr. shoot on Ric Flair.
Oh, fuck you, Flair. Fuck you.
So next we have Lita and Victoria taking on Trish Stratus and Molly Holly, and
Oh boy,
we had we had Christian on here. We did have Tro here yesterday
I
too.
am always here.
Yeah, you're always. We had Christian on yesterday talking about the divas, the diva era essentially, and how the matches were short and shit. This was one of those short diva matches, tag matches here. But you know what? It was pretty damn good. The crowd was into it. It was a fun little match right here. I give it 3.5 stars. What do you think of Lita, Victoria, Trish, and Molly?
Some things change, some things don't. The last time we reviewed a show, we had Victoria versus Molly Holly and a
Yeah,
feud between Trish Stratus and Lita.
yeah.
It's what is it? It's November, and we're still getting the same stuff.
By the way, that would be the last time it was just me and you, because
Yeah, last time it was just me.
the last show we reviewed did not have, definitely didn't have Victoria, definitely didn't have Lita. Trish hadn't even debuted yet, and Molly I think was in WCW. So yeah, they were neither of them were on the show. Lita wins the match by hitting a DDT, I think it was, on Trish and getting the pin. So Lita pins Trish, and that's big because oh yeah, and the GM thing. I said the GM thing would ended here. It actually did not, because I remember now Jericho is your GM next week, and
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
he makes so he has something to say about Lita pinning Trish here, and I will mention that. We will get to that when it comes up later in the show.
but
Nick, oh yeah, go ahead. What you think?
what's it called? So obviously, at this point, since the last time me and you did a show together, Lita was pregnant. So
Yeah,
obviously, she's now had the child, and
no,
Kane is currently at home watching their little bundle of joy with
no,
Matt Hardy as the babysitter, of course.
no. Have you ever
But
heard of a guy? Have you ever heard of a guy named Gene Snitsky?
all I heard is that it wasn't his fault,
Right. It
and that he
wasn't.
can that he's the best punter. He's a great punter.
He's not. He's not better. He's not better than Tory Taylor, and you're gonna find that out tomorrow. Hopefully, not too much, but you will find that out tomorrow when we see
Well,
Tory
I'm
Taylor.
just saying, when he punted that baby, which was a real baby, by the way. Everyone thinks that it was a fake baby. No, that was a real baby, folks. They had to sacrifice a real baby. They couldn't find a baby doll. I was surprised the fan who caught it didn't return it like David Hester would. David Hester would.
I was just gonna say Devin Hester did. He's the guy who caught the baby, and he took it back
He
for a
caught it.
touchdown.
Yeah, yeah,
Funny.
but
It is very funny that you mentioned Snitsky and Devin Hester in the same sentence. You know why?
oh god,
Dave
yeah.
Tobe, Dave Tobe, who was the special teams coordinator for the Bears during Devin Hester, most of Devin Hester's time here with us. Snitsky and Dave Tobe actually know each other. I believe Dave Tobe was the strength and conditioning coach for Gene Snitsky at some point. I guess Snitsky was playing high school football or something. But yeah, it's funny
You
that
can tell.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that.
You can tell that he's done some. People want to say that Pat McAfee is the best punter who's worked in WWE. I don't know. Snitsky had a hell of a punt there. Maybe the Colts should have signed him.
They said that Pat McAfee is the best punter that has worked for the WWE simply because Tory Taylor has never worked for the WWE.
Just because whoever the fuck the Giants punter in 2010
Matt
was.
Dodge. Matt Dodge.
Yeah, Matt Dodge. Matt Dodge with the fucking garbage thrown at you because he couldn't fucking kick the ball out of bounds, you dumbass.
Yep, what a moment that was.
Yeah, we got the last laugh though.
Deshaun Jackson fumbled the ball, picked it right up, and took it to. It still took it to the
You
house.
know, what's almost as good of a moment?
What?
Returning the opening kickoff of
Shut
the
up.
Super Bowl and not winning it.
Shut up.
That's even better.
Shut up. Hey, look at the title there on the bottom. Caleb's season starts tomorrow.
Yeah. Daniel Jones Daniel Jones season starts tomorrow, and I know that you guys are just so happy about fucking Jordan Love getting hurt.
I can't believe that Love got hurt.
6 to 8 weeks probably.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. He just wanted to give a tribute to his buddy Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, thank God they play in fucking Brazil. That horrible grass. Yeah, let's continue putting our players' safety. Next year they'll play at North Korea.
Well, there was a joke today circling around
Iran.
the internet. Yeah, Iraq, I think. It was
Also,
Iraq,
hey, WWE ran shows there for a couple of years when it was an active military, so I wouldn't put it past the NFL to do it.
That was JBL.
Yeah, that was the tribute to the troops.
Yeah, that was JBL.
Al Qaeda sees the JBL like, oh fuck this shit.
Yeah. Let me see here. So,
Damn, so I got Lita lost her kid. I can't believe that. Damn.
Yeah, Lita's kid is gone. But next we have a Muhammad Hassan vignette.
Oh no!
And what a shame.
Oh no!
Muhammad Hassan was a great heel, man. Timing was horrible, obviously, because they decided to do that segment on SmackDown literally 2 days before the London bombing. And obviously, if you remember back then, SmackDown taped on Tuesdays, airs on Thursdays, so which means 2 days later was the London bombings. The same night the show aired, but people just can't tell the difference apparently from what's a TV show and what's real life.
It was bad timing. It was bad timing, though.
Yeah, it absolutely was bad timing, but still, it's just a television show, man.
But still, it's just not great. Like the segment, if it was just Muhammad Hassan himself was just attacking Undertaker, it would have been okay. But it was Muhammad Hassan sending the people we've never seen these people before in masks show up to kill the Undertaker. Like what? What are the odds?
I wonder how many of those guys were indie workers.
They probably were. We never saw them again.
How many of them actually got to the WWE as time went on? They probably don't even want to admit that they were a part of that segment.
Well, we'll never know because they had masks on. So
yeah, that's why I'm saying they can at least hide the fact that they were. But next up, Jerry Lawler taking on Rick.
Weird timing, by the way, for this. For us talking about this Muhammad Hassan problem, given it's going to be 9/11's anniversary on Wednesday. No.
You're right, Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure. Muhammad Hassan's gimmick was crazy because looking back on it, it's like he's kind of a face, but he's acting very heelish. He's just a dick of the way he's saying it. He's like, I used to be just a proud American. And then 9/11 happened, and I got accused of being a terrorist. I'm just an average guy.
Yeah, his reasonings of why he was mad kind of made him come off as a face, but he was a heel.
Yeah, he was a heel.
Yeah.
But it was, I think they had him debate Jerry
Yeah.
Lawler. He's like,
Yes.
he made good point. He's like, I'm an American. I like this country. I'm just tired of being treated to that TV. And Jerry Lawler's like, go back to Iran, you terrorists. And everyone's like, USA. And we're supposed to be the heels because he attacks freaking JR and Jerry Lawler.
But he was from Detroit too, wasn't he?
He's an Italian. He's not even Arab.
And now he is a
Principal.
principal in our area. I don't know how if he's closer to you or me, but somewhere here in New York, he's a principal.
They took this fucking Italian guy, told him to be Arab, made him team with fucking Cosmo Davari, an actual Arab guy.
And at this point, his students probably don't even know who the hell he is. It's been so long. It's been almost 20 years.
He gets very weird around 9/11.
Yeah,
So he's
Mister
like, he hears this theme again every night, like,
Mister Principal, why are you so upset? And the
no reason.
couple days, it's like 9/11. We're all like, why is he so upset?
For as bad as this gimmick was, do you know what they did in TNA with Cosmo Davari?
I kind of remember it, but not that much.
His theme, literally, it was just his theme that was horrible.
What was it?
I swear to God, one of his themes in TNA, Davari's theme, was the sound of a plane crashing
What?
in
What?
TNA. It's like, no. It's like, oh, you think what WWE did was bad? Here's the sound for this Arab wrestler, and plane is crashing. And
I gotta
we
hear
got
that.
Mick Foley with a car crash.
Yeah.
In TNA, it's a plane crash for an Arab wrestler. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my gosh, I gotta hear that. I have TNA shows on DVD that Davari wrestled on, so I gotta look back
I'm
on.
sure it was short lived.
I'm gonna look into that on YouTube though. That's what I'm gonna look into that because if it definitely happened, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
So now we have Jerry Lawler versus Ric Flair. And I remember watching this match, be feeling so awkward at the fact like Jerry Lawler is literally the evolution apologist, and now he's in the ring with Ric Flair. Like, why?
I'm sorry that I have to do this to you, Rick. I love you, man.
And like he didn't even do that. He didn't even act like that. He wasn't like I don't want to do this. He was just like strapped down, and I'm gonna punch him in the face. He like wrestled him like he didn't care that it was Ric Flair. I was like, this feels so weird. It was a good match, but as a kid, I'm sitting there like, this is literally the guy who every week on commentary comes up with any excuse for evolution, and now he's wrestling Ric Flair. It really would have made more sense if it was JR.
2 minutes before this was like, man, I love Ric Flair. He's the greatest in the ring, and Evolution is awesome. And I'm gonna fucking kill you, motherfucker. Bell, it's like Festus. And jeez,
Yeah.
his whole demeanor changes when he hears a bell ring.
And Coach, shout out to Jonathan Coachman. Every time, obviously, one of the Raw commentary guys gets put into some type of angle or some type of match, it's next man up, and the next man is Coach. And Coach and JR always were so good on commentary. You didn't get a lot of it, but whenever you did, they were really good. They fed off each other very well. And Coach, I think it was announced today, Coach is going to be doing a podcast with Vince Russo. I'm very excited
Oh boy.
to hear that. I'm a big fan of both of them, so I'll be excited to see that.
Mm,
What did you?
what a weird pairing that is.
Well, Russo came on to. Do you know Coach has a podcast? You know that, right?
Everyone has a fucking
Yeah,
podcast.
I know. But Russo
We have
came.
a podcast.
Yeah. Russo, yeah, FNC Retro Wrestling Reviews, where almost more often than not it's FNT. That's the podcast. You have your podcast TNC with Christian, where Christian doesn't even go by the name, but that's all right. I put the playlist together. So he uploads the videos. I put the playlist. I throw them
Well,
in
you
the
see,
play.
but you have to watch those. But you have to watch those videos visually because you have to see the terror in my eyes as I'm doing the show.
The extreme one you guys did.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, there's actually a couple of podcasts on. There's also Cybel Shoots, which we haven't done an episode in um in forever. I don't know when we're gonna get back to that. But yeah, F&C Retro Wrestling Reviews. That's what you're watching right now, the 54th episode, where it's F&C, but it's really F&T.
yeah.
Um,
We're up to episode 54. We have a long way to go before the episode 100 extravaganza,
yeah.
where we just talk for 7 hours
Oh my god.
to beat our record of six
To beat the
hours.
record of the July 30th, 2000 Raw. So our we also have the New Generation Era review series, which haven't done a New Generation Era episode in a while, but we will be bringing that back soon, and it will be me and Tro for the weekly shows, and we expect to have Nat for whenever we do a pay per view from the New Generation Era. But yeah, those will be coming back soon. But right now, we're just trying to knock out all the FNC retro wrestling review shows we have lined up because we have a ton. But anyway, did you give your thoughts on Lola versus Flair?
I thought it was a fine match. Jerry Lawler can still go at this point. He doesn't
Yeah.
wrestle as. I guess maybe he was still doing indies at this point, so
Mhm.
he's still good in ring, and Flair's still good in ring. I just feel like this match would have been a freaking main event of a pay per view in the '80s and
Obviously.
'70s.
And
That
JR,
would have been a hell of a match too.
yeah, JR being the stat muse, the human stat muse that he is, he mentioned that this was the fourth time. He said that Lawler and Flair have faced off with each other three times, but never in WWE. So this would be the fourth Flair versus Lawler, and this would be the first time in WWE. That's according to Stat Muse himself, Jim Ross. He didn't say where Jerry Lawler or Ric Flair played college football, but
they they probably wrestled each other in Jerry Lawler's territory of Memphis.
yeah, I believe he said
I
that.
go over. I'm gonna go over tonight, Rick. I'm the booker.
So besides the fact that there's a lot of great drama on this show, another reason why this is one of my favorite Raws and why, as a kid, I love this show so much. Randy Orton was my favorite wrestler at this time, and he's the GM, and now he's about to introduce somebody who's about to become my favorite female wrestler. And this is the segment right here. Randy Orton is backstage. He says, man, damn it, I really thought Lawler had Flair there. Then he turns around, and right behind him is this woman's wrestler, and he turns around and says, Melina, are you enjoying the show tonight? To which the new owner of a Legends contract, Melina, which I'm very happy for her on that. She says she's enjoying the show, and she wants to know that is it true that Randy Orton, who again, because he is GM for the night, it also means he can actually use Vince McMahon's money and he can actually make signings. So Melina asks Randy Orton if it's true that he signed her to a WWE contract, to which Randy Orton says, yes, it is true. Melina says, thank you. She hugs him and says, if there's anything I can do to pay you back for this, please let me know. To which Maria comes in and she's like, Orton, did you want to see me for some reason? He said, yes. And he's like, Melina, you say, if there's anything you can do for me, there actually is. And Maria, you can be a part of this too. And we're going to do it in the ring later tonight. And she says, Maria, excuse me, says, are we going to wrestle? To which Orton says, no, it's something better than that. And that's the end of this segment. This is a good little segment. I'd give it about a 8 out of 10. Orton next, obviously setting up the Divas segment of the night here, and now we have a WrestleMania recall. And if we know what the main event is, so what do you think the recall here for WrestleMania? Especially that it's not WrestleMania season; they're doing a WrestleMania recall. I think
Hmm.
you know what it's going to be here.
Well, obviously it's going to be Undertaker versus Kane.
Well, it was actually WrestleMania 12, Goldust versus Roddy
Oh,
Piper, the backlot brawl.
10 out of 10. OJ Simpson was in there.
No, it's actually the recall of the triple threat match from WrestleMania 20, where Chris
Yeah.
Benoit Chris Benoit makes Triple H tap out, and then we
They
have a
should have
go ahead.
they should have had a recall of a vengeance recall. That
Yeah,
would have been cool.
that would have made so much sense. That would have made so much
Now we're like that's the reason why you picked the show, Frank.
yeah.
Continuity there.
So now we have a really cool vignette. It's the second vignette of the night, a little more feel good vignette as opposed to the Muhammad Hassan vignette. It's a Shelton Benjamin, essentially a shoot vignette here, where it's just showing Shelton Benjamin as he grew up. You know, he went through tough times. He became an amateur wrestler and all that. Just showing that they were trying everything they could to get Benjamin. Obviously, you saw from the very beginning after the draft that they were high on Benjamin on Raw. He beat Triple H twice in like his first two shows. So they were high on him, and I guess this was another. This is them trying as hard as they can to get to let people be like, "Hey, love Shelton Benjamin." What do you?
I I was they had to be very careful when they were talking about him in college. They're like, oh, and he was by himself. He certainly didn't have any friends named Brock Lesnar or
Yeah,
in or around him. That guy doesn't exist.
yes. If they're doing a WrestleMania recall that has WrestleMania 20 on it, and it's not 2012, then obviously they're not going to mention Brock Lesnar at any time in this show.
No, especially not when bringing up. I was expecting them to just blur out if they had showed the Minnesota Wrecking
Wrecking
Crew of
Crew.
him and they just blur him out. They give him the WWF logo treatment.
Like, well, he was wearing the WWF shirt, so we had to blur it. But you had to blur out his face. His face
Blur
had
out
a
him
W.
complete.
His face
Just
had
put
a
Steven
W.
Richards' face over it.
His face had a WWF tattoo on it. No, it didn't.
He's he's the original Steven Richards.
Yeah.
They're just blurring his ass out.
So now here's the moment where I realize that I was in love. But we're gonna get to that in a few minutes here. Randy Orton in ring with Melina, Maria, and Candice Michelle. So Orton says it's his job as acting GM to deliver the hottest show possible, and you can't do that, well, obviously without hot women. He introduces the aforementioned women that are in the ring, but then he says that something is missing, and that something is more hot women. So he says for the Diva Search winner, Christy Hemme, to come down. She comes down, and then she says the hometown girl, Stacy Keebler, who the show's in Baltimore, home of the 0-1 Ravens with TJ Tampa. So Stacy Keebler, who is a former Baltimore Ravens cheerleader, comes out, and Stacy Keebler was my first WWE crush, and I was about to, and I didn't know it at the moment, but I was about to discover that I had a second WWE crush, and we're going to get to that in a minute. So Orton says, it's holiday season, it's time of giving, so it's time for the first ever lingerie fashion show. And he asked all the women involved here, do you want to do it? He puts the microphone to everybody, and they all say yes. So obviously, lingerie fashion show takes place, and when Melina did her part, I was in awe. I was like, what, 12 years old at the time? So I was in awe. So I became a huge fan of Melina. And 2 years later, neither of us knew it at the time, but 2 years later, because of this, me and Tro were at the Sunrise Mall in Long Island. He was there to meet Batista. I was there to meet Melina. I still have my Melina autograph hanging on the wall, hanging above a Jeff McNeil 8x10. Shout out to Jeff McNeil. Sadly, he's out for the year. But time to get Ronald Acuna Jr. up to the big leagues. But anyway, yeah, Tro, we met each other that day. And we didn't meet each other that day, but we were there in the same building that day and had no idea that.
I didn't realize that I was muted for some of that.
Yeah,
I corrected you when you said in.
oh, yeah, and you were wondering why I just kept going.
Yeah, I was like, why is this motherfucker?
See, you mute a lot. You mute a
Yeah,
lot.
because I move around.
Right.
I don't want
I
all the
thought
little squeaking noise.
I thought that was what was going on. That's why I didn't really say anything. So I didn't know you were muted for a long time too. I'm looking like I guess he doesn't want to talk about. No, or I guess he was just laying out, letting me say
Yeah, yeah,
everything.
yeah, just dying, just ignoring this segment completely.
We were on Long Island at the Sunrise Mall,
Massapequa.
18 years ago. Yes, in Massapequa, and we had no idea that 18 years later, here we are doing a podcast.
Yeah,
We were in the same
we
building at the
we
same
could
time.
have ran into each other at some
We
point. Like
probably
that's
did. You never know.
like think about it, because little MJF was probably there too.
Oh yeah,
Like
that's.
think about it, like the three of us were at some point probably at the same signing.
I love how you say the three of us like
Like
MJF.
like we're all friends. See, I have more of a chance to have actually talked to MJF because
Yeah,
he was my age. So
yeah.
like, oh my god, a kid who likes wrestling. Oh, sweet. Let's talk about this for nonstop.
I remember there was a guy I talked to. It definitely wasn't you because it was an older guy, and I remember we were talking about stuff that was going on in WWE at the time. Rico came up, and I guess I asked the guy. See, again, I was like 12 years old. I didn't know like what a work or a shoot was. I wasn't sure if this was. I still at that time, even at 12, was not 100% sure if what I was seeing was a work or a shoot. And I because Rico came up, I asked this guy like, "Is Rico really gay?" And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, he is." I always think back to that. I'm like, why? Why did that guy? Like, he just flat
Like
out said,
it was
"Yeah,"
so crazy back then.
which Rico isn't, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think he is. I
No,
don't think.
he
You
has
know,
a wife, doesn't he?
my favorite turns out he was gay thing was Orlando Jordan turn out to be gay as JBL. The one night stand was like, look at all these gay folks here. They have never seen a woman naked. Isn't that right, Orlando?
So wait, was that JBL like trolling
He did.
or
I mean, I don't know if he knew. If
well?
anybody would know, it probably would be JBL. I'm gonna find. Are you gay or not? Tell me. I'm gonna beat your. I'll kick your ass until you do.
Well, Orlando was bi. I think that's the thing. He wanted to actually make that his character in WWE, and they like said no. They didn't want to do it.
You would
And
have feuded with Undertaker.
and then in 2010, he showed up in TNA
Hey,
doing the gimmick. He did the gimmick. He had like a
yeah,
guy with him.
and he had
It was
cream,
too
and then they
weird.
fucking poured cream on his head.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was too weird. It was not.
Yeah, could
Yeah.
you, him feuding with the Undertaker. I am an American badass. I might be a dead man, but I'm an American Christian dead man. And the Bible says it's Adam and Eve and not Adam and Steve. Yes, they start chanting Undertaker. Clap, clap, clap.
Oh my gosh, that would have been crazy. But yeah, 2006. It was the first time we were in the same building at the same time. We had no idea.
That's gonna be, that's gonna be the only time we have ever met in person. We didn't even know.
Yep. Who knows? Maybe it'll happen someday. Well, we'll meet at City Field or UBS one day. I don't know.
It's I prefer UBS because it's closer to you.
Yeah. Well, City Field's. I mean, City Field's not that far from me. I could go to. I've been to City Field plenty of times.
I do remember one day we were going to UBS Arena and the train had to detour, so
Yeah.
we ended up on the in your neck of the woods, the train branch of your neck of the woods. I'm like,
About,
oh my god, I am in. If I get off the train now and I just say Frank,
it would have been hilarious.
I'm I'm here, Frank. Where art thou?
See, it's funny. You're not even the closest Facebook friend that, in terms of distance from me. I have somebody who's also a pro wrestling fan and a Mets fan. Sadly, a Ranger fan, but that's neither here
Ugh,
nor there. But a guy
so
named
many.
Max, I know a guy named Max who randomly one day, I'm just walking with my mom. We're getting like Chinese food, and this guy walks up. My mom immediately recognizes him. She works for the MTA. This guy works in like a BJ's in the city, and so they've seen each other, and she recognizes him. And as they're talking, I'm like, wait a minute, I think I know him. It's like so like we walk away, and I'm telling my mom, I think I know him from Facebook. Is his name Max? And she doesn't even know. She just, she just sees him at work. So I guess she never. And then she turns around and is like, "Are you on Facebook?" It's like, are you Max on Facebook? And he says his last name, and I'm like, like, hey, and that was it. We met each other. I've met two Facebook friends. I've met two people from Facebook. One guy, crazy story too. When I used to work at Walmart, one of my coworkers was actually the brother of this Facebook friend. So we met because he came down. Because like I hit him up, or no, I asked the coworker. I'm like, "Is this your brother?" He said, "Yeah." Or no, "Do you know this guy?" He said, "Yeah, that's my brother." And just one day he showed up to the Walmart. I was like, "Hey, what's up?" That was the first time I ever met a Facebook friend. Then the whole situation with Max would be the second time.
I forgot that your mother works for the MTA.
Yeah,
Does she work for she's a ticket person or something?
she is token booth. Yeah,
Token booth in what Penn Station?
different all around the city, different spots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in other words, I have to go to every MTA station. It's like, is your friend, is your son Frank? Is your son Frank? Is your son Frank? Is your son Frank?
Yeah. So getting back
I figure it out eventually.
getting back to this lingerie fashion show. Like I said, when Melina went, I was like, oh my gosh, I was in awe. 12-year-old, couldn't believe what I was seeing. She looked amazing. So it was cool to look back at this segment and like see Stacy Keebler and Melina were like standing right next to each other once Stacy came out. It was like my first WWE crush and my second one standing right next to each other. And it's like it's no wonder why Randy Orton was my favorite wrestler back then. But yeah, after the fashion show ends, they all hug Orton. Orton's like the luckiest man. I don't get why Orton's supposed to be a babyface, but they're trying to get jealousy from the fans out of Orton here. It's like
Look. To be fair, Orton was never really a babyface. He still acted like a heel. He just wrestled to heels. He acted like a heel because he was still a heel, but he was, I guess, technically a face. Like, oh, I don't like Triple H. Cool. I guess you're a face now.
it's funny, like I said, at this time I was a big Orton fan. I never, obviously 12 years old, I'm not thinking, oh, this guy doesn't get the business. He's too young, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, you don't even know what's going on backstage with Triple H, seeing how he and Mark Jindrak acted, which that was the prior year. But like Triple H at
Yeah,
this time was like, this Orton kid's not ready. And that's why Triple H beat him at Unforgiven the next month. But
Triple
I was
H really fucked over Mark Jindrak
yeah,
so badly
Jindrak
just
hates
to protect Orton.
yeah. But Yeah, I was just enjoying the whole Orton run at that time. I obviously I love the "Burning My Lights" song. Like I said, I was watching Raw every week, rooting for Orton, enjoying it. But yeah, I would give this segment obviously 10 out of 10. What do you think?
It's tits and ass.
that's the other.
Woohoo!
That's the other promo. Oh wait, no, you mean okay? Never mind.
It's just what was supposed to be the payoff here? Oh, it's hot. Like normally it's a fucking heel coming out and like
Yeah,
attacking or like, interrupting something.
yeah,
But this was just, hey, let's bring up the girls who aren't doing shit tonight, and Melina, who will be fucking repackaged within months to being a freaking celebrity with Eminem.
yeah. The funny thing about that too is after this episode, like I wasn't watching Raw like every week at the time. So it's like when she debuted on SmackDown with Eminem, it's like all of a sudden I was in awe once again. I was like, who is this? And I think it took a while, but I realized, oh, this is that same girl who debuted the night Orton was GM. Like,
Two
wait,
different people.
yeah, and I didn't realize, but she actually made a couple, not a lot, but she did make a couple Raw appearances after this show. But I had always been under the impression until like I finally was able to watch the old Raws, which was a couple of years. But I had always before that been under the impression that she made this appearance here on this Raw and was not seen again until Eminem did, which would be April of 2005.
Yeah.
And I was a huge Eminem fan, not just because,
Nitro Melina.
yeah, not just because of Melina. Like obviously, I loved Melina, but Johnny Nitro and Joey Mercury were so good together as the heels, and I know they had their issues backstage, which sucked, and that's what led to them breaking up way too early. But they played that Hollywood role so well, and as heels, they played it so well. And I remember because see, at this point, me and my mom were living in my grandfather's house. May he rest in peace. I remember at one time I'm watching an episode of SmackDown and Eminem comes out and they're the tag champs. You remember how they used to wear the belts when they were champs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
On the
so
crotches.
they come out and my grandfather's like, yeah, I don't like the way these guys are wearing those belts. It's
I don't think this is appropriate for you, Frank. Please stop watching. And then you turn on Buffy. You turn on Buffy. He's like, oh
I
no.
I was not watching Buffy yet, sadly. I didn't get into Buffy until 2022. While the Mets were having that red hot early 2022. Well, actually,
You were busy watching Buffy.
for most of 2022, actually, I binge watched Buffy for most of that time. So next up, we have tag team titles. The new champs, Eugene and William Regal, taking on the La Resistance. And yeah, this was a really short match. Not much to say. I give it 1 star. Um, Eugene and William Regal retain, and after the match, Eugene brings some of the kids into the ring to celebrate with them. And again, the character development throughout this night for Maven. Here's what they were building to. Maven comes out, attacks Eugene, throws him into the steel steps, and like I said, you did spoil it earlier, but Maven turns heel right there.
Look, I think he should have attacked the kids. He just starts beating up. Here, I'm Maven. For 5 years, I had the best job ever. Here's what happened when I attacked children from the audience. See, that actually wasn't a kid. That was actually just a small person. That was a trained child, actually.
Obviously all those kids that were in the ring there were trained.
Oh yeah, they're all
They
workers.
Yeah, they're workers. They had their day one training. They had their legs broken to
Yeah,
make sure that they're gonna come back. If they'll come back or not.
they just had to pay their dues here.
Yeah, obviously, you want to celebrate in the ring with Eugene, you got to pay your dues. Pay your dues, kid.
When they went to the back, William Regal took out the brass knucks from his crotch and punched them all in the face.
Like you want to be in the business. You kids getting in the ring on national television. Do you know how long I wrestled before I went on TV?
Yeah, but I was because everyone was on the show tonight, so I can't even like imagine sitting and catering at these children
Yeah.
get more ring time than you do.
So, your thoughts on the tag match though, the title match?
I thought it was fine. It's the worst incarnation of flowers distance. That is freaking the Servan Grenier and freaking Robert Conway.
Yeah. I love the original La Resistance from '03, but I still enjoy them here. But again, like I said, this match was just it was very quick. 3 minute match, rematch, and obviously La Resistance did not get their belts back.
Yeah.
But now,
Servan Grenier, the guy who freaking screwed over Hulk Hogan in '03.
yeah, yeah, as the ref at No Way Out, and right, it was early. I don't know if it was early in WrestleMania. It was I guess it was right before the street fight at WrestleMania 19. Sylvain Grenier in a SmackDown referee shirt knocks on Vince's door. He's like, Mr. McMahon, le moi.
Mama?
I think one of my Facebook friends doesn't realize my new profile, because remember my profile pic used to be Jeff McNeil, and now Jeff
Yeah.
McNeil's out for the season. Well, I made it Vientos, and from the walk off yesterday, he's like flipping the bat right off the walk off, and one of my Facebook friends just commented MVP. He kind of looks a little bit like Lindor in the picture, but that's not Lindor.
That's racist!
Hold on. Well, this is more zoomed in. It's actually a little easier to see. But
Yeah.
could you think that might be Lindor?
I don't know. Because Lindor has dreads, doesn't he?
Yeah, dreads, but it's hard to see his. I guess she wasn't paying attention to his head. I guess.
Cancel her. Cancel her. Cancel her.
And
Two,
now,
two Spanish players look somewhat alike. Cancel her.
I just freaking spoiled the game again for the second night in a row. But hey, 9 straight. 9 straight. I should stop.
So you found out?
Yeah, I should stop going on Facebook during. But I got the notification and just I got the notification and clicked on it. So
You're gonna, if we win the World Series and what happens on stream, I'm gonna be like, I'll be celebrating, like, yes, yes. And you're like, don't tell me, Tro, don't tell me if we won or not.
yeah, I'm not. I'm not streaming with you if it's the World Series.
I'll be at Dick's trying to get our championship gear. You're like, Tro, don't tell me if we won. As I'm putting on a World Championship shirt, like, yeah, Frank, I don't know if we won or not, but boy, oh boy, I'm fucking happy.
See, but I would be watching the World Series live. That's the thing. I DVR.
You wouldn't record it.
I watch games that are not playoff games. I watch an hour in advance, which I was doing because Tro was streaming on his channel. So I watched like the first 4 innings. I was on the bottom of the fourth, and Tro was like on his stream. He's like, "I'm coming." Like,
Yeah.
I guess I won't see you. But A's was a shutout, 4-0 win.
Yeah,
and
you guys closed it out.
And you know what's on the line tomorrow?
10-game winning streak and a sweep.
The Mets have not won 10 straight since April of 2015.
Mm.
There you go.
We're also catching up to the Yankees record.
What are the Yankees' record right now?
I think they're like 80. I think they're like 81 or 80 wins.
See,
We're up to 78.
See, the Yankees aren't the team I want to catch, though. I want to catch that team.
No, but I'm just saying that, like, considering how good the Yankees were this year at points,
oh yeah,
to catch them, is pretty good.
I
Them
get that,
also
but
not being very good helps too.
yeah, the thing is, we've kind of had a similar season to them, where you can be hot at some time and you can be really cold at some time.
Well, them,
Our
they're pretty fucked. They're fucked when Aaron Judge isn't when
yes,
Aaron Judge isn't being Aaron Judge. They're screwed.
our really cold was early on in the season, and I think they were really hot early on in the season.
Yeah,
And like
they always start hot.
we were lucky enough to play them at a time where we were extremely hot and they were extremely cold, and that's why we swept them this year.
Indeed.
But yeah, possibly the first 10-game winning streak in 9 years on the
Oh no.
same day that Caleb Williams throws 10 touchdown passes in a
Uh,
65 to nothing obliteration of the Tennessee Titans. How about
yeah.
that?
I did just realize that if we make the playoffs and the Royals make the playoffs, it'll be the first time since 2015 that we both
Yeah,
make the playoffs the same
yeah.
year.
How about that? Yeah, the Royals have not
Oh
made the
no!
playoffs since
Oh
20.
no! We're gonna be if we make it to the World Series against them, we're gonna be fucking destroyed by Seth Lugo.
I think we have. I think we would beat them this year if we play them. I don't know. I know Seth Lugo would dominate absolutely, but
We're
I
gonna
still think we would win the series.
it's gonna be Game 5 again. Jose Quintana or freaking David Peterson are having a great game again. They'll be like, they'll be Quintana, and my dad's will be like, okay, you can stay. Same shit happens again.
Yeah, if it's
Inside the park home run in the game one.
oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
Well, the question is, who would have home field advantage this time? Because
They would
we
because
have
they're
a
gonna.
win. Well, our division isn't over yet. That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't matter. It's up to record.
I know, but how many more wins do they have than us?
Well,
Can't be.
they did lose like 7 games the other day. So
That's what I'm saying. It can't be that much. Let me see something. Let me see something.
I'm pretty sure it's just them and the Guardians up there.
Yeah, it's them and the Guardians, but I just want to see what their record is and like how
To be
much
fair,
better.
the AL Central shouldn't really count for the playoffs, seeing how they're in the same division as the White Sox, who are a little league team. So
I think they have 77. I think we have a better record than them.
yeah, because we have 78 wins.
Yeah, and they are currently losing 2-0 to the Minnesota Twins in the bottom of 6.
Hmm.
Oh, we gained ground. We gained ground. We're just
Toronto beat.
7 back. No. We are
Who
just
cares?
7 back of the Phillies. The damn Marlins actually pulled it off 9-5 over. Now let me see. Oh, it's only the bottom of the 5th though, but it is 6-0 Blue Jays.
Good. That's all. That's what I care about.
I care about both because I want the damn
I
division.
care more about just making it.
That's because you were only 10 years old in 2007.
They do. They still make the playoffs, even if they get the wild. Even if we win the division.
I'm telling you, if the damn Diamondbacks would stop freaking losing, they can get hot. The Phillies aren't that far ahead of the Padres because the Padres ain't losing.
Let's say we win the division and then we lose to the Phillies in the first round. What good does what celebration is that? We win the division and then we get swept in the fucking first round at home.
If that happens, that would be to the Phillies. That would be horrible. That would feel like 2020.
That would happen to us.
Yeah, that would feel like 2022 all over again, where we won 101 games and the Phillies made the World Series. That's essentially what that would feel like. But
yeah, the empty division title.
All I'm saying is the Padres are on the Phillies' ass. That's one team. We just need 2 other teams in that wild card race to get hot as we're smacking the Phillies around in those upcoming 7 games we have against Philly. And I hate the Marlins, but thank you, Marlins, for today. And, I mentioned Nat, our new generation correspondent. She's a big Blue Jays fan, so shout out to Nat's Blue Jays for putting a beat down on the Braves tonight. Getting back to the show, We got three more segments here. Well, actually, technically four, but the fourth one's just a promo for an auction. But anyway, first
Yay!
Trish Stratus and Chris Jericho backstage. Trish tells Jericho it must be funny seeing her, for him to see her with this face guard on. Trish obviously got hurt at Survivor Series, and I think it was a chair shot situation from Lita, and so Trish had to wear a face guard for some time. And Jericho was like, "Would I be the type of person to make fun of you?" And then he just makes fun of her. It's like, uh, he's like, "You got beat by Lita today, so I guess you can say the walking KOD beat the walking STD." Which I don't know what walking K. I think that's something that Trish said in a promo leading up to Survivor Series to Lita. Walking KOD.
Knockout Diva.
I don't think that's what I don't think that's what that means. I gotta look back to like the build up of Survivor Series '04. I don't remember what that because I remember Trish saying something like that to Lita, but then he says, next week is going to be my chance to be the general manager. It's going to be my week, and I'm going to make a women's title match between you, as obviously she is the champ, and Lita. And I would give this segment 9 out of 10. And obviously, if anybody's wondering, yes, that is the infamous main event Raw women's title match. That would be the next show.
we should we should have reviewed that show because we could get a free concert out of it.
Well, the concert would I'd have. Well, I have the original airings, so we can go right in there.
Because
But
we get a freaking Chris Jericho and Fozzy still doing the thing that
oh,
they're still doing to this day.
so that probably isn't edited out on the network. But
Well,
even
yeah,
if
it's
it
fine.
is,
They probably just fucking sang enemy.
yeah, even if it is, I have the original airings. Normally, I watch the original airings for these shows, but I popped in the DVD I have for this episode's original airing. It was shit, so I just cut over to Peacock. I was literally like 11 minutes into the show, and like every couple of seconds, it'd be like this pause, like a spine buster hits, and it's like it feels like it paused just for a hot second, and like I'm not having this. Take the DVD out, put Peacock on, fast forward back to the 11 minutes where I was, and yeah, I watched this on Peacock. So if I've skipped over anything, which I don't think there was anything edited out, but you'll know why. But yeah, I give this 9 out of 10. Chris Jericho always with Trish. It's like when Chris Jericho with Stephanie McMahon in the Attitude Era. It's always funny. What did you think of this?
Yeah, it's Chris. It's middle. It's middling Chris Jericho, babyface Chris Jericho. What's my gimmick? I don't know. I'm just a cool rock hard guy. And next week you're gonna have to all hear my band sing live. And guess what? In about freaking 20 years from now, I'm gonna be in England and we're gonna do it again. It's gonna be awesome. What have I become? But the Judas in my mouth. You just you just hear him start saying that to Trish.
The funny thing is, you bring up Enemy. You and
It's a good song.
it is. I love that song. You and Christian are finally back doing the
Yeah.
TNC reviews. Yes, we said on the last show your last review was the XFL, but that wasn't reviewing a wrestling show. That really wasn't the TNC reviews series. The last show you actually did in that series was No Way Out 2005. So it's kind of funny you bring that up.
Yeah, but what have you become? But a prisoner to the Judas in your mind. I'm coming. A Judas. A Judas in my
Yep.
You
Yeah.
don't know who your enemy is either.
Yeah. Um, so during the tag title match, Jonathan Coachman mentioned that the lingerie in the lingerie fashion show was being auctioned for for anybody to buy, and it's crazy because I can only imagine being these women putting like this is their underwear and it's being put up to auction. Like you don't know who could get this.
You
Like
know you know for a fact there's, you know how they have that stupid the the stupid WWE Vault
Yeah.
AEW A&E show where they lowball everybody and
Oh,
then get pissed off when they lowball offer
yeah,
people for their merchandise and they get pissed off about
yeah,
when they say that's a horrible deal, no thank you.
yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna if they're gonna try to find the person who bought all the lingerie.
I doubt it.
I mean, I don't think they want to like. Why is it so stained? Oh no! Why is it crusty?
Oh, no, no.
This is the underwear. I like to sniff it. Ah, it smells like candy from Michelle.
I swear, I really, when I was watching that and Coach brought that up, and then the segment
I'm
that we're
surprised Jerry Lawler didn't buy it.
yeah. The segment that we're about to cover right now, I just felt so bad. Like I couldn't imagine being those women. And obviously I'm sure they got a kickback out of it, so at least there was that. But yeah,
I'm sure
that's
Vince McMahon bought some too.
oh no. That's just
I
weird.
wanna Linda put on Trish Stratus's panties. I
Trish
wanted
wasn't
to smell her.
Trish wasn't in this. Trish
Uh,
was
put on put on Melina's panties. I want to smell Johnny Nitro on her.
oh yeah. I don't even know if oh yeah, they did, yeah. Because they were
I
working.
want to smell Kenny Dykstra.
Oh my gosh. No, they were working together in OVW, so I'm pretty sure they were dating at that time. So yeah.
Probably.
Um, but anyway, they show a promo. They show a promo for this auction. All the lingerie is like lined up on a clothes hanger, and they show them all autographed. And then at least we got to see Stacy Keebler in this promo because they show her live signing her stuff. And yeah, that's a nice little promo. WWE was doing some cool auction stuff at this time. This is one that, yeah, I don't understand it. This was not like you're just gonna find if there's some very rich creep out there. That's exactly
Vince McMahon.
yeah. I don't know why Vince would. I mean,
Well, he's a very rich creep.
oh, I know, but it's like it's
Ted Turner.
now you're just throwing around accusations that are
I'm gonna buy Melina's panties. Yeah, fuck you,
oh,
AOL.
oh I guess yeah. Moving on anyway. Ric Flair and Batista backstage, and this for me is the segment of the night. Again, we are not only building up to the main event, which is next, but we're also building up to WrestleMania, the end of all ends, and essentially this is the culmination of all the 2004 storylines. And here's the biggest one. So it's Ric Flair and Batista backstage, and Flair is livid. He asked why Batista eliminated him in the Battle Royal, to which Batista says, Flair, it was an accident. He's like, Flair's like, accident? Do you know that accident could have cost Triple H the world title? Flair says we should have had a mastermind plan. We should have masterminded a plan to win the Battle Royal. And then one of us, whoever won it, obviously the mastermind plan would be they're the last two. So whoever wins it. And then the person who won just lays down for Triple H and Triple H pins him. So, we have a brand member. We have a brand member, Mohammed. What's up, Mohammed? Already better than the lockdown guys who just laugh like a pack of Smurfs at everything they see while discussing banal nonsense. Who are the? I'm not sure who he means by that, but what's up, Mohammed? Do you know what he means by that? The lockdown guys.
Not sure.
But anyway, shout out to him because he is a brand member and
What's a
one of
brand
the.
member?
Oh, see, well, you're not a Russo guy.
Oh yeah. Well, you're saying brand and you're saying member. I'm like, we have memberships now. We're making money.
Oh, well, that would be. Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about. He says this is a popular YouTube channel, and this is where it all makes sense. What culture? Yeah.
Yeah,
What
those
culture
idiots.
sucks? He says S.
They used to be good though, so good.
I never liked them. They always came off as like smart marks to me.
They started off. I think the first real good video they did was telling everybody like wrestling terms, and then it
Yeah.
just kind of evolved to they had their own promotion for like a hot minute too.
Yeah, I know. I remember that. I watched parts of their first show, but didn't really care. Yeah. Um. Besides, my love for pro wrestling was, you know, it was slowly dying at
Yeah,
that point. So,
and
I wasn't.
that just helped
No,
your love for wrestling die because fucking WCPW.
no, I'm not saying that's why. I'm just saying that for any chance of me even getting into that, just it wasn't gonna happen. But yeah, shout out to any brand members of that. That group is one of the Facebook groups that I promote the our videos in. Trying to get as many brand members because I need some people to be on my side. Because obviously, when we have Christian in here, we get into our debates. I need some brand members in the comments.
Yeah. I mean, I don't normally agree with you, but I'm not gonna Christian debate you for about it.
I think Christian just thinks that if we get debates, it's going to lead to like thousands of views, and
Yeah. Like
it's
I
just,
agree, I disagree with you with Vince Russo stuff, but I'm not gonna be like, okay, let's have a 20-minute debate about like you say you like Vince Russo. Here's why he's not actually good.
here's why. We're doing an Attitude Era show. Here's why the attitude. Here's what. Guess what? I'm going to tell you for the 20 millionth time. I think the Attitude Era is overrated. Like okay,
Vic,
like good. That's good.
I think Vic Venom sucked.
you know, it's like yeah, okay. I know, but you've said this a million times. It's your opinion, but you've said this like a million times. What according to you guys is the best storyline that hooked you into watching every week? Ooh, very good question. Um, See, for me, it was like there wasn't necessarily like a big storyline that I was watching like every single week that hooked me. But the night that I actually started watching was Thanksgiving 2002, and the main storyline at that time was Brock Lesnar was screwed out of the WWE title at Survivor Series '02, and he was trying to get his revenge. And on this
Yeah,
night, Stephanie McMahon was like, essentially like Brock wants to get his revenge, but Stephanie's like not right now. And Brock was really about to pretty much attack Stephanie that night, and Stephanie's like, well, guess what, you're suspended. And so that was like the storyline over the whole night. And then at the end of the night, Brock Lesnar came out when Big Show was facing Mae Young in the main event. And but for some reason, Stephanie McMahon, even though she was the babyface GM on SmackDown, on this night she came off as a heel. Like watch that Thanksgiving 2002 show.
yeah,
If you would think like, okay, this is an evil GM here. You would think she was the Eric Bischoff. She put Mae Young in the main event against Big Show and shit. Like, so Brock Lesnar come out. So the reason why he came out at one point in the show, they caught a scalper, and they had Mark Lloyd walk up to the scalper. It was like, "Did you give a ticket to Brock Lesnar?" He's like, "Brock Lesnar? I don't know no Brock Lesnar." Matter of fact, get that camera out of my face. So Brock Lesnar jumps out of the crowd over the barricade in that main event, and Michael's like, "The rumors are true. Brock Lesnar's here." And that show goes off the air with Brock Lesnar F5ing Big Show through the announce table. And that whole night, I was hooked on that whole story. And I, as a 10-year-old kid, could not believe that this 295-pound monster is picking up this 500-pound giant and lifting him over his shoulders and F5ing him through the announce table. Yeah, that's what hooked me. But, if you want to go over like some of my favorite storylines of all time, like, you know, since we're talking to a brand member, I'll throw one out that Russo had his hand in, or maybe not, because this was shortly after Russo left. But I mean, it's shortly after he left, so I'm sure he set it up. The Big Boss Man and Big Show storyline leading into Armageddon '99, all that stuff. That Big Boss Man. I've said this on yesterday's show. Big Boss Man was one of the best heels in 1999. Another great storyline, 2003, the McMahon's power struggle. Just let that cop go by. That was loud as hell. Was
It
that?
was Big Boss Man.
Yeah, that's right. It was perfect timing with Big Boss Man. This mic, I don't know if that was outside or was that yours.
That was me.
Oh, that was. I was about to say this
I have,
mic can pick up a lot.
yeah, you can hear UBS from that mic.
um,
You can hear you and Christian will be doing a show one day. You're gonna hear me say yes, yes, yes.
it's a yeah. That was a funny bit. I believe it was. Okay, let me see them. That was a funny bit for me. Brock was at his worst in terms of the "I got screwed, now I'm mad" category of babyface. He should have got the Goldberg like brooding persona instead. I
Mm,
kind of understand where he's coming from there, but you know, I see it as Brock was just trying to get revenge. He was mad, yes, but he was out for revenge. I don't think he came off looking bad in that situation. Obviously, the one who came off looking bad was Stephanie. It's like you're a babyface GM, and all of a sudden you're suspending, the top babyface just because he wants to get revenge, and you're putting May Young in a main event match with Big Show. It's like I don't understand that, but like I was,
the thing that hooked me the storyline.
yeah,
We'll go over whatever we do our next show, but it was the Undertaker against Rady Orton for
mhm,
the Hell Cell. That was the thing that got me hooked onto wrestling for whatever reason.
okay, that was a
But
great angle.
but it was a great angle.
Mhm.
But recently, the storyline that had me like really anticipating coming back to the show each week. It was first the bloodline angle with when they had Sami Zayn there. That was great storytelling. And then earlier this year with the Rock coming back and that whole storyline with him and Cody.
Sorry, I really wasn't listening because I was
Yep,
actually reading this comment. I heard what you said first, but that second part,
yep.
I was reading this and it's actually funny. The suspending Brock arc came full circle, and she did it again Raw after Mania 31.
Sure.
Um, yeah, if you mention don't mention Sami Zayn when there's a brand member in the chat, man. Come on.
Does Vince Russo not like Sami Zayn for some reason?
He does not, and to be honest, I'm not a big fan of his anyway. I'm sure Muhammad isn't either, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well,
Um,
I didn't know the rules of people who Vince Russo does and doesn't like. For some reason, he has a grudge against Sami Zayn, but he's perfectly okay with Jim Cornette, a guy who said he's going to literally piss on his fucking grave.
yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible. And I'm a fan of Cornette
Yeah, but to
from
be
a
fair,
performance.
it has given Cornette a reason. He said once he decided that that's what he's going to do, he said he's going to like take better care of his body to make sure that he outlives Vince Russo just so he can do it.
That's funny.
That's dedication, though.
It is. It is.
That's hardcore hate.
I want to get back to some of my favorite storylines. Because I was mentioning before I was going to mention the Stephanie McMahon Vince McMahon power struggle from SmackDown in 2003. I really enjoyed that. That was pretty much the big storyline on SmackDown in '03. The Ministry of Darkness stuff from '99 was great. Obviously, the greatest storyline of all time, Mr. McMahon versus Steve Austin. Everything they did in that angle was so freaking good. I mean, the first Raw at the Garden, where not the first Raw, but the Garden show where Austin first stunned Mr. McMahon. The September 22nd, I want to say, September 22nd, 1997 Raw. That was an amazing moment. Just storylines like that captivate me, get me interested.
That was a hell of a sell by Vince McMahon.
Yeah, yeah. Vince
I
not
think that's where
exactly.
the stunner part of the move came from.
Yeah.
Maybe
Um.
he was like he was flopping like
Yeah. All right, hang on one second. Where were we? I think we
we were
were.
towards the main event.
Yeah. So okay, I remember where we were. So Ric Flair had just told Batista, like, you screwed up. We could have won this battle royal, and then one of us could have laid down for Triple H. So Triple H walks in angry that Orton is making him defend the title against Benoit and Edge. To which Flair says, "Don't worry, I got your back." And Triple H just looks at Batista, and here we go. Triple H just stares him down. There's a little bit of silence for a couple of seconds, to which Batista's like, "What? I got your back too." Triple H and Ric Flair leave after that. The camera pans in on Batista as he's looking. Obviously, we're building here. We're building the mania. Um,
Building blocks, baby.
like I said, this is a segment of the night, in my opinion. I give it 10 out of 10. What did you think?
It is the slow but amazing payoff that we deserve for
Yes,
this Batista and Triple H
absolutely.
storyline, and it's great because Triple H is never too wise that Batista's going to turn on him.
Yeah,
Like I feel like maybe deep down Triple H knows that eventually he's going to have to face Batista. Like it's gonna come to a head eventually, but
right.
he's trying to put it off as much because he thinks, and it's established in kayfabe later on. He thinks that Batista really isn't that bright. He thinks Batista's all muscle. He's nothing else. But
Yeah,
eventually, Batista shows like, no, I am more than just muscle.
right. It was, yeah, it was done so well. Main event time, triple threat for the world heavyweight title. We have your champion Triple H taking on Edge and Chris Benoit. And just like how the show began in that battle royal where both men, Edge and Benoit, both hit the floor at the same time, we have a moment here where I believe it was either a double pin where both shoulders were down, or it was Benoit had Edge pinned and Benoit no Edge had Benoit pinned and Benoit had him in a submission. He tapped out. It seems. I think it was just a double pin, and they were trying to figure out who won. But either way, it ended with both men trying to be like, "I'm the champ." No, I'm the champ. One referee says Benoit's the champ. The other referee says Edge is the champ. And yeah, just the drama of this, and they go off the air with a really good shot. I'm going to mention that in a second, but we get one more comment here from Muhammad. In 2004 through 2005, we got a slow burn payoff with Triple H in his eventual turn against Evolution, and it turned him into a superstar. And now he says in 2024, they did the same slow burn story with Bailey and Damage Control. I have no idea who Damage
Yeah,
Control is. I've heard of them. I've seen pictures of them. I really don't know much about them. Where Bailey did, Bailey even did the silent listener. Oh wow, really? To her
yeah.
mate, to her mates, mocking her, forcing her to do the turn on her stable, and it failed. Laugh my ass off.
Well, I'll try to explain this. I'll try to explain it to you quickly and as
Go ahead.
clearly as I possibly can. Basically, all Bailey was the only white girl in Damage Control, and there were it was Kyrie Sane and Asuka, and they both kept on talking. In Io Sky, all three of them were talking Japanese
Hmm.
behind and talking shit about Bailey. And then eventually, when after Bailey won the Royal Rumble, she's like, "I could understand that you guys were talking shit about me." Then their shocked faces, like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it!" Like you could understand.
Well, here's the thing about
But
comparing.
Bailey was more of a leader, so it's
Okay.
not exactly like the Evolution one.
Does Bailey come out with like a number 12 on her shirt or something?
No, and unfortunately, and no, she's not. She's not Mrs. Underrated like my boy is. and she's not going to be part of Northwell Science like Josh Bailey is.
So here's the difference when you want to compare a storyline from 2004, excuse me, 2004, 2005 to today. The thing with Evolution and Batista, that had a writer writing for it, and the whole thing with Bailey and Damage Control, I really can't speak much for it. Why it, if it failed, and if some nobody cared about it, some of the reason is there was no writers writing for it. There's a fucking wrestler doing it.
And no, the storyline was good. It was just the match was okay. It was just post Bailey winning the actual title where it was kind of a little rough.
Okay. Muhammad, they
And
put
the product's doing good ratings and freaking money making wise right now. So
oh,
I wouldn't be saying that kind of stuff.
oh, if you, I don't think Muhammad's the guy you want to get into a ratings discussion with. I don't really care about the ratings, but if you want to get into a ratings discussion, I think Muhammad will talk ratings with you. He says now they put subtitles in the backstage segment of the
That's
of
it. That's
damage
it.
control conversating between each other. Might as well have done the Kai and Tai dubbing on them and go,
Indeed.
indeed. So, so yeah, that would I'd say that would have been funny. The whole kind die stuff was really entertaining. Um, but yeah, too, I mentioned the show went off the air with a really good shot. So
Yeah.
Edge thinks he's the world champ. Benoit thinks he's the world champ. Both have a ref on their side, and then you see Triple H, who at one point is knocked into the crowd. He goes over the guardrail. He is now getting up, and he gets up slowly, and it's like panning up to. It's sort of like the McMahon pan up from WrestleMania 19, except Triple H isn't covered in blood, but he's like slowly getting up, and he
Yeah.
sees what's going on in the ring, and the realization of the fact that the belt is no longer his has hit, and he is just pissed. And that was just a great way to go off the air. They started with drama of who wins the battle royal. Now they're starting with the drama of they're ending, excuse me, with the drama of who the hell is our world champion. This is one of the reasons why I just freaking love this episode. Watching this as a 12-year-old kid. Obviously, being introduced to Melina, I'm sure helped as to why I love this show. Being a 12-year-old who's a huge Randy Orton fan, Randy Orton's the GM, so that helped as to why I love this show. But it still holds up where I'm not a 12-year-old kid anymore, and the rooting interest of Randy Orton is no longer big for me. I still find Melina very attractive, but there's no longer that teenage, oh my gosh, type stuff. But the show holds up because there's just so much drama between the world title picture and everything else that went on. It was really good. What do you think? By the way, I give this
Hold on.
no
I don't know
phone,
what that.
no phone calls when we're live, Tro.
Damn it!
No.
I was making a phone. I was making a phone call to everybody else.
But on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this show a 10. What would you give this, Tro?
Um, 8.
Okay, fair. Muhammad, it was a shame Edge got injured shortly after this. Yes, I heard Edge was to be spearheaded as the main. I think SmackDown champ. That's like 2003. We're covering an '04 Raw. He says I heard Edge was spearheaded as the main SmackDown champ soon after this. This is the November 29th, 2004. Are you talking about when Edge got hurt in 2003 when he was on SmackDown? I think that's what he meant. Which Edge was at that time, he looked like obviously Brock Lesnar is your top baby face, so it's hard for another baby face to kind of make that jump. But Edge was like the undercard star baby face on SmackDown in like 2002. And everybody thought because of that maybe he'll take the next jump in 2003. Yeah, Muhammad realizes. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. You were right though. It really was a shame that Edge got hurt at that time. Um, no, yeah, not as '03. We were talking about an '04 Raw. But yeah, at that time in '02, he was like the main baby face on the undercard. You know, having matches with Kurt Angle. It was sadly that ladder match with Eddie Guerrero, and again, we were talking about ladder matches yesterday on the show. I don't know if Muhammad watched our SummerSlam '99 review. Christian was trying to say the ladder matches with the Hardys, Edge, and Dudleys were one of the best parts of the Attitude Era, and I said, look, those ladder matches were overrated. And he's like, oh, come on. It's like, look, uh, was it fun to watch as a kid? I'm not gonna lie, I was going crazy watching those shows, watching those ladder matches as a kid. But after a while, you just watch these high spots. It's like you've seen them a million times. They're still doing shit like that today, and it's like this shit's getting old. And you saw what happened to Edge. Edge did all those damn ladder matches, and how many times? Oh, in '03 he got hurt. And I did say that was a ladder match, the Eddie Guerrero match. That's my fault. It was a no DQ match, but a ladder was involved, and they were doing spots off the ladder. And I just, with all this great shit that was going on in the editor, I cannot sit here and tell you that those ladder matches were not even one of the best parts. It was a good part, but it was also an overrated part because obviously the internet tries their best to be like, oh, these are some of the greatest matches in the history of the WWE. And it's like, no, I wouldn't even put the WrestleMania 17 match as the match of the night. I would say that was Austin and Rock. For WrestleMania 2000, I everybody hates that four way. I love that four way. I love the McMahon in every corner story. Anytime you have McMahon drama involved in storylines, it just made for interesting TV. Um, and what was the other one? SummerSlam 2000. The match of the night
Yeah.
for SummerSlam 2000 is obviously that triple threat main event. The high spot shit affected the numbers too. TLC 3 match on SmackDown was UPN era lowest rated show with 6.2 million viewers, down from 8.2 million the year prior. Like I said,
It doesn't make sense though.
you want to talk ratings? Muhammad is the guy. Um, yeah, it's the high spot shit. It wasn't that at that time. The people who were watching pro wrestling was not looking for crazy ladder matches. Obviously, the diehard fans, I guess you can say. I always say the internet fans. I guess we're all technically internet fans because we all hang out on the internet, right?
Yeah.
If we're talking wrestling on the internet, we're all internet wrestling fans technically. But the die,
IWC.
what?
The IWC.
Yeah, IWC, Internet Wrestling Community. But the die-hard fans obviously will look back at the Attitude Era and be like, "Oh, they had all these cool ladder matches, and you know, Dean Malenko, and Benoit." It's like they were not even anywhere close to being the reason why the Attitude Era was so good. Like I said last night, Edge and Christian as a tag team, especially in 2000 when they were working off Mick Foley. Mick Foley was the commissioner. They did a lot of entertaining segments together. And I know Muhammad because I did a list of my favorite Attitude Era years in the brand a couple of nights ago, and I put 2000 second after 99, and I knew I was going to get some heat. I knew I was going to get some heat. Muhammad was one of them who was like, bruh, how can you put 2000 over 98? And, you know, uh, and Muhammad says here, we do talk on the internet, but we aren't purists. Exactly. I think anybody who watches this YouTube channel and watches any of my videos knows I ain't no damn purist. We aren't purists about the whole thing where you obsess your hobby is collecting tapes from every country, yeah, on fake fights. That's a
Eh,
marksman of a different dimension. To which I will say,
to
I,
be fair, it was. the tape collecting thing was more of a '90s, '80s, and early 2000s things when we didn't have access to like the stuff that we have now. Like you wouldn't be able to find out about certain Japanese wrestlers who go on to go to WWE and TNA without tape training some way. Like even it helped it helped not WCW, it helped ECW. That's how people found out like, oh, this is what ECW is doing over here because you wouldn't get that from the West Coast.
Um, I will say this. You know, when it comes to tape trading, look, if you're if look, there's first off, I want to say there's nothing wrong if you are that type of fan. Like, do you like you can spend your money however you want. That's how I
Like what
view.
you like, but don't be a dick.
Right, I agree with that. Um, the only type of tapes that I was that you or me. So I swear I can never
That's
tell.
you.
I can
That's
never.
you.
That was me. See, this mic picks up some. This
You got
mic
a
can pick.
fucking speed. You got a tape trader behind you there.
The only tapes and DVDs I collect are like, WWE, WCW. I don't really have any ECW shows, or definitely no Japan shows. I'll tell you that. Mexico, Mexico AAA, whatever it is. Yeah, I don't have nothing like that. But and yeah, like I said, we're not the purists. That's why we have a different outlook. And I say me, we're as in pretty much me and any of the I guess you could pretty much put the brand members in there, but it's even I'm sure there are people who are like that just aren't diehard fans that are also probably not Russo fans. I don't know, but that's the thing. The casual fans. That's what I represent, and that's what Muhammad being a brand member. That's what he represents too, and the voice of the what did I just say, fans? What's the term I just used? Casual,
Casual.
casual, yeah. The voice of the casual fans essentially is Vince Russo, because most of us love his writing, and he's the guy he's the only guy out there now that is like I'm the casual guy. Muhammad, Mexican wrestling scene got much more entertaining considering JBL just kayfabe purchased. Did he really?
No. Oh, maybe he did. I don't know. I don't really. I didn't know that he made more appearances other than just his one-off in AAA.
Oh no, yeah, I do. He did make appearance. That's right. I forgot about that. He
Yeah.
kayfabe purchased the biggest Mexican promotion in AAA and went full 2000. Oh,
Oh
are you
no.
gonna really get me into Mexican wrestling now? Oh man, 2004 here Hill JBL. You know I love that. Oh man, he went 2004 heel mode on the entire promotion. Oh my gosh, Muhammad got me wanting to watch AAA now.
Doing that these days is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Doing it back then was pretty crazy too. Oh,
But in Mexico, he'll be the biggest heel over there if he does it there. Like even in WWE, obviously when one of the biggest SmackDown stars that year was Eddie Guerrero, obviously it was easy to become one of the bigger heels
yeah.
in WWE. But to actually go to Mexico and do it there, if those fans are, do they don't still think it's real, right? Because that's like the
No,
story.
but but they like to keep their traditions true, like lucha. They they really love professional wrestling down
Yeah.
in Mexico.
Now give me more southern border patrol skits, and we are sold. I agree. I agree, man. That was a
Hey,
crazy
we could use JBL down there in the border.
maybe.
We could hey, if we had somebody like JBL, then maybe we wouldn't have literally everybody from every other country coming through our borders right now.
we need we need more people like Mohammed. We need more people who are gonna come into the chat and give us reasons to even stay on after we finish the show, because we've already finished the show pretty much. And just hang around and chat with us. This is fun. It's like a three-person show now. Here, us two on camera and Muhammad in the chat. Hey, that isn't that what that's what we need, right? More commenters, right?
I mean, it helps the algorithm. It helps the algorithm. Yeah,
Absolutely. Shout out to Muhammad. Anything else you want to talk
because
about? Let us bring it up. Well, go ahead.
it'll show the algor. It'll show that where you have a lot of engagement in a live video, so there's more of a chance that they might show it around a little bit more
Okay.
afterwards.
And Mohammed, I've said this so many times. I'm still looking for somebody to come on here and chat 2000, review these 2000 nitros with me, man. Nobody. I got two co-hosts here. Tro, this is Tro. The other one is Christian. Neither of them care about Russo. Neither of them care.
Yeah, that's the only. I feel like I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, I
I can do
get
a lot of shit, but not that.
I get free to watch on weekends. Great chat. Okay, so he's free on weekends, so that's why he's here today. So that could be a thing. If you'd be down to come on the show and chat
That's how it
about
started with me.
yeah, this how were you the first one? I don't know if you were the first one where it was like, well, you came to me. That's the thing. I
Yeah.
didn't. You came to me.
I also popped up in chat, being like, "Hey guys, I'll be on your next show."
This would be the second time I have got a guest host for the Nitros. The other one, he one day I was like, hey, I'm ready to do him now, and he just no sold it. He just didn't say shit to me. I'm like, well, I guess I've lost my co-host. But he says I can do the Nitro shows on weekends. I'm free then. How about Saturdays? And we'll start it with the first Nitro of that year. We'll also do the pay-per-views. And what I was going to call it with
FCT and
FCT and M. If we're gonna have to keep
F
growing,
FCTM. We're gonna have the whole fucking alphabet by the end of the year. 20 it's going to be the biggest stream yard ever. There's going to be 26 of us. It's going to start with Christian saying, "What do it do, YouTube?" And it's going to half the video is just going to be us introducing ourselves.
so I already had a title for the series, and it's not F and M. The funny thing is, the other guy, his name began with an F, but and I have no
F
issue
and
with him.
F.
I have no. It began with an M, just like Muhammad. But I have no issues with him. He's cool. We chat in the brand a lot, but I guess he decided he didn't want to do it anymore. But the title I had for our series here would be. Let me see if I can remember it. Oh shit. Well, let me read this comment while I try to remember what it was. Time zone issues. Your show notifications came on 4:30 a.m. Oh boy, what is your time zone? I'm Eastern Standard Time. We're both from New York.
It's 9:27 for us
Yeah,
p.m.
9:27. So I'd probably have to do it a little earlier because this is late at night, so it's early morning for him, I guess. So we'd have to do it a little earlier, I guess. Uh,
Hello, Hello, time traveler.
yeah. The what the hell was I gonna call the series?
He can maybe he can tell you how Caleb Williams is doing over there. He's from the future. He knows how it's good. He knows how it's going to go.
He is from India. He's from India,
Yeah.
so he already knows that Caleb Williams through
It's
ten
good. India.
touchdowns, and the Bears won 63-0.
Hold on. How big YouTube is in India.
How big?
We're gonna. They had fucking T series on top of their as the most subscribed YouTube channel for a couple of years.
Nice. So we can figure out the time zone. Like we'll figure out what time we need to do it, but we shall see. Trying to remember what the hell did I call it. If you got anything else you want to talk about wrestling wise,
Going in Russo.
no. That's not going to be it. If you got any more topics you want to bring up, Mohammed, please feel free while I try to think of what the hell. I probably could give a head start who going to win between Trump and Kamala.
Oh yeah, come on! I didn't know what I have to put down my bets as.
The what do you call it when like if the big if the everybody gives the opinion that something sucks and then you have like the one side that says it's good. What would you call that again?
Contrast.
Nah, not contra. Oh man, I really wish I had a really good name for the series and I freaking forgot. I put it out.
Contrarian.
No, it wasn't country. I put it out on the FCTENT page too. If I can just go.
Being a Frank.
No. Okay, here's since we're gonna start with Nitro shows, no. Like I said, we would start with the very first Nitro of 2000. I know that Russo was out by then, but yeah. So those first couple of shows were okay, but we'll get through those, and then the Contrarian Voice. That's a good one, but I like what I had. Let me look up and see if I can find. 'Cause I know I can find it because it's on the FCTENT YouTube page, and I know we don't post on there a lot, so just got to keep scrolling down. I'll find it at some point.
We don't have a ton of people to post to. People
I
don't
know,
check community notes.
but I share, like I said, I share my posts on that page in the in groups. That's how we get our viewers. Truthfully, whoever's subscribed to us, if they see it, they might watch, and then anybody who is in the groups that I share, and they'll
Well,
yeah.
I'll have to check our stats after this. But for me, when I checked like my new viewers, it was literally 99% not subscribed versus subscribed.
There you go. That's because of the sharing. You know, since you're oh, if we're doing Russo era, okay, October 10th, 99 Nitro. We can start with that and then go on from there. Yeah, that's with my other co-hosts. We were gonna start just with the first show in 2000, but we can definitely do that. October 10th, 99. That was a really good Nitro too. I just hate the 3 hour shit, man. That's my problem. Which obviously so did Russo. That's why when Russo came in, he's like, "We're moving this shit to 2 hours." And then just as what was it, 2000? Yeah, just as 2000 started, they went to 2 hours. Let's see here. I'm gonna find it in a minute. I should be coming up to it soon. Um, Here's something. Since we have a Russo fan in here, we got the guy who bashed David Flair on this podcast. So, Mohammed, what do you think of David Flair? We have the David Flair hater in on here with us, so I can tell you,
Getting his ass kicked in the shower.
here we go. Here we go. I found it. Yes, the positive spin. That's what I wanted to call it. The positive
That's
spin.
completely opposite how you described it.
You think so?
You said the opposite of being what everyone else says.
Yeah, you're giving it a positive spin. Everybody gives it negative reactions. You give it a positive spin. Let's see. Apparently, the last Nitro of '99 on the really the last Nitro of 1999 on the network lost 1 full hour of footage that is just lost in the tape library. Urban Legend. Urban Legend, good movie by the way. What's her name? Rebecca Gayhard. She is, ooh, damn. But anyway, is that true? There's 1 hour missing on the final Nitro of '99 on the network.
I would never know. I don't watch Nitro.
I I've never heard of this. I remember there was one Nitro where like it was Disco versus Alex Wright. So that match happens, and then like a few segments later, that match just re-ups. Like it happens again. I'm like, how the hell did that happen? Here we go. Here we go. Not gonna lie, David Flair was fun. Love the Stacy Keebler wedding segment. Yes. He had, and the whole Ric Flair home invasion angle was awesome. Yes. How about the segment where David Flair, was so pissed off about how the wedding went, and he's at home and he's being interviewed by Mike Tenay, and he just runs outside and beats the hell out of his mailman. You know what I'm talking about? That was really funny. That was really good.
Frank, are you ready for the for Tavari's TNA theme?
Yes, let's hear it. I hope we don't
Okay,
get
let me just turn.
copyright.
Oh, come on! Well, I don't think we'll be copyrighted. If we are, then that's fucking hilarious.
Copyright for a plane crash.
Hold on. You hear that?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that song. I don't remember the plane crash sounded.
Yeah, it didn't last long.
Yeah.
They,
Wow. What
they
show?
had
What
that's
show is that
come
from?
out.
What show is?
Um, no surrender.
What year?
Oh boy.
2008.
Uh,
2008.
no surrender. I don't see it. It doesn't say. 2013 probably.
Oh, 2013. I was
Well, that's when the video was uploaded, so it's probably right around there.
no, that doesn't sound like 2013. Not with who the ring announcer is there. Send me the link to that on Facebook. I want to see something. Hang on. I guarantee it can't be 2013. It's got to be. Oh, I think he'll be back as soon as he sends the link. All right, hang on 1 second. So, Muhammad, if you're still here, what do you think of that title, The Positive Spin? Let me know how you feel as on that as the title of the series. Okay, okay, yeah, Tro's back. He has sent the link.
You can't get rid of me that easily.
Let
You can't write me out.
me see if I can. I can just tell by the way things look if it's like 2013 or not. Yeah, that's not 2013. I can, yeah. And there's a six-sided ring. That's just not 2013. Plus, there's borders on the screen. If this was 2013, there wouldn't be borders.
So it's probably 2009, 20,
It
2008,
might
probably.
it might be eight. It might be eight, I think. From the Cross the Line DVD set, the No Surrender X Division title match to be specific. Wow. Okay, yeah. Muhammad says Positive Spin is a pretty good title. All right, there we go. The Positive Spin is back, baby. It hasn't started yet, so it's technically not back.
It's back and better than ever. Face facts. These two people like Vince Russo. There's your intro theme. Play it before every show.
Maybe I should just take the intro, the AI intro, just bring that back, huh?
Yeah, I'll just digitally add Muhammad. Tro is the comedic maestro, and then there's also Muhammad.
That AI thing. Oh my gosh, man! Why did you
Look,
even? Why did you
I
even
am
tell?
the comedic maestro,
Why did you even tell Christian you did that? Oh my gosh, he had to
and
bring it
you
on here.
and you do the dance moves.
Yeah, I do not. I'm not here to dance. I'm sorry to tell anybody.
Hey, I danced the Dirty Bird yesterday, so
Yeah, you tried to. You tried
oh,
to.
it's a little hard to do. Hold on, I don't even know how the Dirty Bird goes. I don't. I look stupid. Fly, eagles, fly.
Wrong team. The Dirty Bird is the Falcons.
Fly. 28-3. We're gonna blow the lead. Matt Ryan not gonna win a Super Bowl. We got Michael Vick. He beats up dogs. Yeah.
So Mohammed, I don't know how many. I don't know how many of our upcoming Road to show we're gonna do on Saturdays, but one of our after we do the 2005, the December 2nd, 2005 SmackDown, which was Tro's first show ever. That's our next review. After that, we will be doing Road to WrestleMania 15. So I'm sure you'll be very interested in watching those reviews. So it will be every Raw except for the February 13th, 99 one, because we've reviewed that already. Every Raw, every pay per view except for Royal Rumble 99, because we reviewed that. So we're essentially starting the night after Royal Rumble 99, and we'll be going up to, we'll be doing also, what's the pay per view? St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Um,
Ooh. Boop,
we will,
doo.
on whichever show was after the halftime heat, we will review halftime heat right before reviewing that show. That will be a
And the
part.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, we're not going to review Falcons versus Broncos.
Damn
But if
it.
you want
Every
to,
time.
if you want to do the Dirty Bird again, maybe we. Cause that's the season where the Dirty Bird came from.
Maybe we can review the Giants and Bears season that year.
99. We didn't have a good year in 99. How
I
about
don't
we?
know. I think we had Terry Collins that year.
How about we review the Terry Collins? You mean
It
Kerry?
was whatever. Terry Collins, Terry, Carey. They both lost in the championship. So
How about we review the 1985 playoff game between the Bears and Giants?
yeah, nothing really happened in that game.
Oh yeah, maybe we can review after that the 2006 regular season matchup. Devin
Eh,
Hester, this
but
field goal touchdown return.
yeah, but only one of those teams won a Super Bowl within the next 3 years of that year.
Oh,
I wonder which one it was.
the 85 Bears won the actual year. That'll tell you who won that playoff game.
Yeah, but I feel like if the Giants ever returned a kickoff to open up a Super Bowl, they'd win that Super Bowl.
Shut up.
Like how you set yourself up yesterday when you brought up a Ravens returning a kickoff for a Super, and I'm like, opportunity to mock him.
But yeah, so every Raw, except for that February 13th show, leading up to WrestleMania 15, and obviously the pay per view from February, St. Valentine's Day Massacre, and the WrestleMania 15, which I feel is a very underrated WrestleMania. So, Muhammad,
Mm,
if you're interested in that, I don't know how many of those episodes we're going to do on Saturdays, on weekdays. I mean, weekends, excuse me. We definitely don't do too much on Sundays, especially now that football's beginning.
yeah,
You're not going to see us on
we're gonna
Sundays.
be miserable and pissed off at each other.
But obviously, these live shows, when we're done filming, they immediately go. They're immediately available on demand on YouTube, so you can you can catch it anytime you want. And yeah, we'll talk about when we want to do a when we want. Well, we'll have to talk about time zone issues, obviously. Which WrestleMania again? That would be WrestleMania 15, 1999.
They didn't even call it
First
WrestleMania 15.
first Rock Austin main event. So that would be
Yeah,
1999. That'd be the year before WrestleMania 2000. That was Boss Man and Undertaker Hell in a Cell, uh, the fucking Brawl for All with Bart Gunn and
Butterbean,
Butterbean. Yeah. Sable. Who did Sable work with? Sable had a match with somebody. Tori, right?
Sonny,
No, not
Sonny
Sonny.
maybe.
No, they never faced each other. Oh, he
Uh,
said, yeah, yeah, there you go, Muhammad. Yes, hell yeah. Oh, hold on. Hell yeah. Best mania ever. Like I said,
you
it's a
got You guys are sick freaks.
I like I've said, it's a very underrated WrestleMania. Look,
Next, you'll be saying, "Oh, WrestleMania 17 or WrestleMania 19, the worst WrestleManias ever."
hell no, WrestleMania 19 is my favorite.
I'm just saying to be contrary.
Uh, See, I love that it's if he's being serious, I love that it's his favorite. I ain't got nothing wrong with that. I love that to me it's and I don't mean this as a knock, but I consider WrestleMania 15 the poor man's Survivor Series 1998. Normally when you say poor man's it mostly means a knock. I don't mean that as a knock. Like Survivor Series 98 is one of the greatest storyline centric pay-per-views of all time. And this WrestleMania 15, was another storyline driven pay per view, and it was really good. The Rage Party they had prior to Mania 15 was hilarious. Shout out to Chef. What was his real name?
Isaac Hayes.
Isaac Hayes. Yeah, he was funny at the Rage Party.
Big Show was funny.
Yeah, he was.
WrestleMania.
Maybe maybe right before we review the WrestleMania 15 at the end of that road too, I'll watch the Rage Party and I'll cover whatever entertaining things happen because it was like a concert, but also there was the talent was there, Awesome was there, Big Show was there, Shane McMahon,
I
Mister
like how
McMahon.
Kane had to keep kayfabe and have a fucking mask on the whole time.
Yeah, motherfuckers be like, why is
And he couldn't speak or drink the whole time either.
everybody would be like, why is the dentist from the new generation era back? He's like he's standing right next to Mr. McMahon. Isaac, yeah, that's exactly what he's saying. The chocolate balls.
Yeah,
Um,
Vince was going down on that one.
yeah. Oh my gosh, I didn't even catch that for a second. Um, yeah. If me and Mohammed were on here talking about 1999 WWE, it would be the total opposite of what you get between me and Christian. Where Christian tries to make it out that like you had no idea who the heck was heel and who the heck was babyface. And obviously, yeah, there were heel turns a lot at the time, but you knew at any point who the heel and who the babyface were. I even after we did SummerSlam last night, the extras I watched the extras on the SummerSlam DVD, and they have like the build-ups to each matches, and I watched the build-up to that tag match where he said you have no idea if Kane is a heel. He comes off as a heel, and I watched the build-up and I was like, where does Kane come off as a heel in this angle? At one point after X Pac gets jumped, they do the whole thing where like the guy's laid out and the buddy, which in this case would be Kane, like scoops him up and he's like, "No!" They did that with Kane. Like at what time? At
He
what?
puts the voice thing. No.
At what point in building up to SummerSlam '99 did Kane come off as a heel? This is a very good question by Muhammad here. Thoughts on Sid Vicious as a performer? God rest his soul. We did talk about because we came on. What was it? What did we come on doing right after Sid passed away? I think it was one of the Road to Vengeance shows.
Yeah, I think it was one of the random as Raws we did.
Yeah. So we talked about how we felt about Sid. I'm a big fan of Sid. I think that you know the diehards we were talking about earlier. They look at two messed up promo moments with Sid. We're live, pal, and the half a brain promos, and they try to make it out like Sid couldn't cut a promo. Sid was a great promo. He was a great big man. I feel like his Mania main events, which is crazy. This guy wrestled on only on two WrestleManias, and both of them were main event. And I thought they were both underrated. Uh,
Yeah.
Sid and Goldberg. I'm sure Muhammad knows what I'm talking about. Their feud in 2000. I always forget which show it is. Or was it 99? Was it Fall Brawl 99? I think that's what it was. Sid and Goldberg had a feud and the build up. was great, and then the match itself, they just kicked each other's ass. It was tremendous. That's one of my favorite Sid matches. 97 was a great year for Sid. The Some of the new generation era stuff, where like the night after WrestleMania 11, he turns on Shawn Michaels. That was great. The Millennium Man stuff in WCW '99, yeah, man, he was great. Favorite niche memory of Sid Vicious here from Muhammad when he brought niche. My bad. When he brought his neighbor Seth, not Seth Rollins, right? to a shout out to Seth Rollins, by the way. He is a Bears fan, so shout out to him.
Yeah, that's why every week he posts, "I hate football."
No, he's gonna be saying I love football a lot this year. He'll be saying it a lot. Um, so he brought his neighbor Seth to a Nitro show to face Steve Williams pre-Starcade night.
Doctor Death.
And here we go. Okay, yeah, I was close. It was Halloween Havoc '99. Yeah, that was. Oh my gosh, that was tremendous. That was tremendous. And, yeah, Sid, man, may he rest in peace. And what is it with? Yeah, I know you didn't mean him, but not Seth, not that Seth. Laugh my ass off. Oh, it was a Make-A-Wish kid who loves Seth. Oh, is there any footage of that, like on YouTube or something? Um, but I love how Johnny Ace, for some weird reason, just loves to have big guys go to the top rope. I don't understand it. Doing high flyer maneuvers. It was Johnny Ace who told Brock Lesnar do the shooting star press at WrestleMania 19, and obviously, if Brock wasn't as big as he is, especially in the neck region, he'd probably be freaking paralyzed right now. And then it was also Johnny Ace in WCW who told Sid, he told him go to the top rope. I think Sid was able to, get like, I don't want to do this. So instead of top rope, I'll do middle rope. And so Sid jumped off the middle rope, and we all know what happened at that Greed pay per view. It essentially, ended. I know he worked indie after that, but it essentially ended his career. Like you never seen him in WWE again. You never, except for that 2012. So I
Oh,
would say you never saw him in WCW again, but WCW went under before he got healthy. And yes, that it was
he
horrific to watch.
he did have a good indie segment once.
With who?
Yeah. I forget the name of the promotion, but the shirt was too tight,
Oh
and
yeah.
he was just having a shit fit. He's like, "The shirt is too tight, Billy," and I forget something funny happened during it other than like, "The shirt is too tight." I don't know.
But yeah, I don't get it with Johnny Ace, man. Why? What's so crazy about watching a big man fly off the top rope and let's give a guy a horrible concussion and
Whose
you know
idea was it?
it was Johnny Ace's idea to have
Oh
Brock.
yeah, but he's a piece of fucking human shit who should have been.
Well,
I mean,
you
he's a
know,
horrible person, and
and I
I
get
wish nothing
that.
but the worst for him.
I get that, by the way, from Brock's book. Brock said it in his book that it was Johnny Ace's idea, and then Sid said it in a shoot interview that it was Johnny Ace's idea to have him do the eventual leg breaking spot. Sid came Sid came to Ring of Honor once, and he did the most outrageous power bomb on Sami Zayn outside the ring. Um, wow.
So,
Oh no, that wasn't Ring of Honor. I think I know what you're talking about. I seen that. That might
oh
have been.
yeah, that was recently. Not no, that
It
wasn't
wasn't.
recently,
It
but
wasn't
it
recent.
was the. I
It
saw
was
the clip recently.
PWG. Wasn't it PWG? I saw the clip recently too. That definitely wasn't a Ring of Honor show. I think that was
No,
PWG.
it
And
probably was PWG.
a lot of people in the comments were saying that's not Sami Zayn. So I don't know.
I think it was Sami Zayn. People just forget. For a while, for many years, he used to
Where
suppose. Now I'm using kayfabe here. He supposedly used to wear a mask and was called El Generico. But as we all know, El Generico is now currently in Mexico
yeah,
with an orphanage.
yeah, he's that's what Kevin Owens was saying before he
Well,
went to
that's just the truth. Everyone knows he's in the orphanage right now.
WWE. He's
Go
better
to go to. Well, you see, Sami Zayn actually used to wrestle, but then after Sid powerbombed him, it took him years to recover. But he finally came back with the help. He was trained by good old El Generico, and now he's back.
Sid powerbombed him so hard that he became a taxi cab driver.
Yeah, he's left for a couple of years, and he's good. He's doing good now.
That joke was for Muhammad. He'll get it. You wouldn't get it. You're not a brand member.
Now I have half a brain.
Half a brain. Was that your way of tributing Sid?
I have half the brain that you do,
Oh
and
boy.
you're half the man that I am.
Sid blamed Russo for that promo, and Russo's like, I didn't tell you to say that.
That was just Sid being an idiot. I
It
mean,
was
Russo didn't exactly write the greatest, but I don't think he fuck up that badly.
okay. Now you're getting booted for saying Russo didn't write great, so you're gone.
Okay, bye bye. Bye bye. I'll just do my own stream.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So before before you go live, DM me the YouTube link so I can link it in description.
Well, I have to go live first before I can even.
Okay, then after you go live, just DM me the
Yeah.
link and I'll throw it in the
You
description.
know, it's the Call of Duty actually now has like WWE wrestlers in it,
Oh really?
but it's only like for Modern Warfare 3, not the Call of Duty, not the Black Ops beta. But it's
Yeah.
I saw it the other day and it was fucking freaky to see Rey Mysterio holding an AK-47.
Sami Zayn, Sami Zayn, the taxi cab driver, featuring Russo and Mark Madden. Mark Madden was so awesome on
Dumb and
commentary.
Dumber.
Mark Madden was so awesome on commentary, man. And
Dumb and Dumber.
Mark Madden now has a damn good quarterback. I'll tell you that.
Ay, ay, ay.
He has a better quarterback than Daniel Jones.
You know, um,
You could have had that
dude,
quarterback. You're stuck with
why would
Daniel.
we want to lose her?
He's not a loser. I'm telling you, he's gonna light it up with Pittsburgh. You already have a loser.
No, we don't.
uh,
We have a winner.
Yeah, what Muhammad? What are your thoughts on Mark Madden on commentary in 2000? He was so entertaining, in my opinion. What did you think?
Oh,
Well, we already know what Troll thinks. I ain't even got to ask him. You can just know by the
I'm
reaction.
surrounded. I'm surrounded by idiots.
we can bring Christian back if you want.
I'm surrounded by even more idiots. I'll see what Christian would debate you though.
We would have been probably debating for an hour. Well, how long has Muhammad been in these seasons? Muhammad came in. Oh
He's
God.
extended the show by at least an hour.
He definitely has. If it wasn't for Muhammad, we would have finished probably at least a couple minutes after we went to the final part of the show. He came in at 8:51. So if Chris,
45.
imagine if Christian was here, we would have been debating for like a whole hour.
Well, he'd still be telling us the story about how he got into wrestling.
Yeah. Well, he says, he at least doesn't know what he doesn't remember what his first show was. That's what he said yesterday, because he said, we're doing your first show next, and we already did my first show. And he's like, we would have did his first show before, but he just doesn't remember what it is. Which I feel bad for him with that, because I love to know what, it's cool to know what your first show is, right? Remember back to when you were a fan. Or where you became a fan, excuse me. MLB on Fox. Vibes are high in Queens. 9 straight.
Did you see what the Mets social media posted earlier today?
What do they post?
I forgot who did the kip up.
Oh yeah, it
But the
was
play,
Iglesias. It was
but
Iglesias.
they were, but the Mets were like, oh, he's just Shawn Michaels now, HBK.
That's tremendous. That's exactly what I thought too. Obviously, oh, he's Shawn Michaels.
He's
I
just
was
sexy boy.
I was gonna share the post because SNY's Facebook page posted it, and I was gonna be like, he does it better than Shawn Michaels. I was legitimately gonna do that. Let me see some. Where? Let me pull up SNY's Facebook. Hold on. No thoughts on Mark Madden on commentary, Muhammad. Let's see. Where's the nip up?
No, Frank, you're to be spoiled.
I'll be. I remember I told you I already. I
I,
smiled.
I know I'm joking. You're gonna find out they won. Whoops.
Oh, did you see the double play that Iglesias and Lindor pulled off?
Of
See that
course.
I already saw because that was like first inning or something. That was a great play. Oh, here we go. I see. Okay. Um. Oh wait. Before that, he says, "Remember when Russo and Borash had a bet on Nitro where Russo claimed the September 4th Nitro, which we reviewed that show. That was and that's the show I was telling you about. I think either yesterday or two shows ago, where like Christian was not he wasn't giving anything to it, and that's when I realized I need a new co-host to do these Nitro episodes. That was Russo's Revenge. That one we will still cover that, even though me and because that's a terrible episode that we did where I it was pretty much just me and Christian was like, it's okay if you don't like the show, that's fine. But if you're gonna be on here, at least give something. And like all he did was throw in a couple of jokes here and there. But he says, remember when Russo and Borash had a bet on Nitro where Russo claimed the September 4th Nitro, which was Russo's Revenge, of opening with a 3.4 rating, and Jeremy Borash had to go bald on the show. I think I kind of remember that. Yeah. He says Mark Madden was okay for me, not that great, but had his moments. Okay, that's fair. I was a big because Mark Madden was funny on commentary. That's why I like him. Trying to find the nip up video now. Maybe the Mets uploaded because I don't see it on SNY.
Oh no, it was the Mets. Swiss.
Yeah, but you said well, what you were saying was they said that he's Shawn Michaels. I didn't see that.
But
No, it's not on the Mets Facebook. Where the hell did I see it? I swear I saw it on Facebook. The only thing the Mets post today involving the game was Bader's home run and the final score. Unless my the face is unless it's not showing me everything. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Let me try looking up Jose Iglesias. That'll work. Let's see. He says, I just hated Madden when he talked over the other commentaries. Felt very prime time, New Shore debate-ish. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And Tro is frozen. Let's see. And he's back. Okay.
I was just pulling it from X. I sent it to you.
Oh, okay. There we go. But I was looking for it because I saw it on Facebook. And I wanted to actually I wanted to share it on Facebook and be like, he's better than Shawn Michaels. Or he does it better than Shawn Michaels. They see me walk. They hear me talk. I make them feel like they're on. That's tremendous. So now we've gone from OMG to now he has to do the sexy boy song.
He's just a sexy. What was it?
What?
Who did the keep up?
Sean, oh, Iglesias.
He's just a sexy Iglesias. Sexy Iglesias. He'll make the ball hurt. Ball hurt. He's just a sexy Iglesias. Sexy Iglesias. Hands off the foul ball.
Let me see some. You guys ever been to these online wrestling forums like Reddit, RSVP, or DVD, DVR? I used to be on it for years. I've been in some
I'm about
Reddit.
to.
Yeah, I don't know RSVP or DVD to DVR, but I've been
I'm
in.
not crazy.
Yeah, I've been in some Reddit forums, but I don't really do. I mostly am in Facebook groups, to be honest.
I'm not that crazy. I can't go. Those places are full of the most vile, toxic types of wrestling fans that even I can't handle.
And here's the group right here, the Brand Fan Group. By the way,
Yeah.
Vince Russo will be in our neck of the woods. This was supposed to be like 2 days before my birthday, but do you remember there was something wrong with the airplanes on that
Yeah.
day? Yeah, so that got postponed, and it's going to be on September 21st. You know the Wrestling Universe on Francis Lewis Boulevard or whatever.
No.
Russo's going to be there on September 21st, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Photo op
Are you gonna be?
$40. What happened?
Are you gonna be there?
No, I wish I could, but I'm not going to be there. Photo op $40, autograph $40, combo $60, and then they have the address. You can look up the address online. I'm not going to dox them. They're a store anyway, but yeah. Fun fact. Oh, look at this. Fun fact. Tony Khan's DVD VR username was Hey Sexy Wrestlers. Oh my goodness. Wow. And obviously, brand fans hate, or well, I don't want to say hate, they just love making fun of Tony Khan.
See, that's funny because obviously the Colts of Cornette and the brand hate this would obviously despise each other given who they respectively like, but you both could come together with not liking Tony Khan and AEW.
So, like I said, I don't have hatred for like Cornette because I like him
Well,
as a.
I'm saying like when
Yeah,
the
I know what you mean.
majority of
Yeah,
Colt
I know what you mean.
fans.
Yeah. I do have a problem with the cult of Cornette though for the fans because I told you the story, right? I
Yeah,
put over
because they got you blocked.
yeah, I put over Russo on Twitter, did not tag Jim Cornette, was not trying to bait Jim Cornette at all, and one of Jim Cornette's goons just tags Cornette. I'm like, Jim Cornette's a big, what's he care about what I have to say? Next thing I know, I check his Twitter and I'm blocked. And this was only a couple days before I put over Camp Cornette because this was a new generation era Twitter account I had, and I put over Cornette, Camp Cornette, and he retweeted it. That's why the Cornette guy was following my account, and I blocked that dude like right away. I was so pissed that he had Cornette like block me. Again, I don't know why the hell Cornette did block me, but he hates Russo that much. Yeah, I don't hate Cornette either for his historian mindset, but his salacious lies of Russo is something I called him out for, and he blocked me without refuting it. That's all I need to know about him. So, two brand members that are blocked by Jim Cornette. Although I am blocked on him on an account I don't even have access to anymore. I forgot the damn password, so I can see his tweets on or posts on X, on everywhere else that I So I'm not really blocked by him anymore. But I really don't understand why he blocked me. It's not like I was trying to bait him, which I wouldn't do that to anybody in the pro wrestling business. I'm not a troll like that. But yeah, well, that was that you or was that
No, that was you.
This mic picks up everything.
You got a freaking race car behind you there, buddy.
I
Bob Sparky plug is behind you.
I mentioned the new generation era. Now here comes Bob Sparkplug
Yeah.
Holly. But I sometimes I try to wonder like is Cornette playing a character because it is
No.
it makes
He legitimately hates Vince Russo that much.
and see the thing is there is nothing wrong to have two different opinions on how you want to write television. That's literally all it is.
But
Jim Cornette just can't stand the fact that Vince Russo has a different way of writing TV than he does, and I think he's jealous because go
I
ahead.
don't think he's jealous. He's not. I don't think he's jealous at all of Vince Russo. The way Cornette looks at professional wrestling is as it's his life. It's been what he's been doing his whole life. He loves this. He loves everything about it, and he does not like the way that Vince Russo does stuff. He feels like Vince Russo just tried to make it too unrealistic to a point that he couldn't enjoy it, and then he gave for the fucking brawl for all
I
and all
hate
the other shit that he's done.
But like I said, that's the thing. They have two different mindsets, and he can't handle the fact that Russo has a different mindset than he does. Cornette, at this point, knows his hatred for Russo is his money making bit, that's why I say I really feel like at this point it might just be
He doesn't even bring it up though. He doesn't bring up Russo unless it's brought up to him, and he doesn't ever
back
because he doesn't want to think about Vince Russo
right. But back then he brought it up a lot.
because he had to work with him. And that was back when we didn't know all the stuff that we knew.
He also said, "Let me just finish. Let me just finish Muhammad here because we got more comments from our co-host, but he can't backpedal from it now. He created his own vicious trap, and some guy named CJ Mania. Who the hell is that? What's good, boys?
I don't know if that's CJ Mania is, but
I have no idea. Vince Russo has a different, in a good way. He says not in a good way, but he says in a good way to write stuff. Russo tried to make it too gimmicky. No, he did not try to make it too gimmicky.
The CJ guy seems like he wants to debate you.
I just hope we don't get like I know I'm not gonna fight anybody. I just hope like if Christian and Muhammad get into a debate, hopefully it's just a normal debate. Let's not fight anybody over this shit here. Y'all know me, the same old C.
I don't know who that C is, but
Christian? What are we?
Christian as in Christian Cage?
FNC. The debating at 7 a.m. I'm good on. Yeah, we're just having conversations here. We don't want to debate. It's 7 a.m. for Muhammad, obviously. It's like 10:10 for us too. But yeah, I was gonna say before I was rudely interrupted. No, I'm just playing. But I was gonna say what I meant by he's jealous. He's jealous because when Russo wrote this shit, it got popular. It got more popular than when Cornette was writing, and that's why I believe he's jealous of Russo. And I give this Christian. I give Russo credit for some things, but overall, I don't think he did as much as he thinks he did. He's never said that. I don't think he ever said that he ever did anything. But okay.
I don't think Cornette's jealous. I think Cornette's just tired of always having to have work. Think about this from Cornette's perspective. He already hated Vince Russo from having to work with him in WWF.
Yeah, I know that.
So then he he goes to TNA to help out Jeff Jarrett because he's friends with Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah.
And Jeff Jarrett brings Vince Russo in. So now Cornette has to deal with Vince Russo again after he just thought he was done with this guy.
And Jarrett did everything he could. To his credit, he did everything he could to make sure that they were on.
Yeah.
He tried to tell Cornette please just let this be. Don't.
He also told Cornette keep an eye on Russo, make sure he doesn't go too off the walls.
Muhammad Cornette was replaced by by Russo from not just WWE but also in TNA. Imagine being replaced by the same guy twice. Laughed my ass off. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, you want to know if anybody thinks that Cornette did not hate Russo when they were in WWE, all you have to do is watch Cornette's work shoot from it was late '97. The problem with I don't know what he called it, the problem with current day wrestling or whatever, and he mentioned the Yankee up in the the Stanford who's writing the shows. He calls out Russo without actually mentioning his name. The problem with Cornette is he's still stuck in the '80s and he can't keep up with the times. The problem with Russo is he thinks he is some creative
We're
genius
having a nice little argument here.
and he had three out of four things stuck. I would say one out of four things normally sucked when it came to Russo. The brawl for all act does. Also, Corny is always angry about something, whether it's wrestling related, social media, or whatever. See, that's Cornette as a person. Like I've always said, I like Cornette as a performer. It's the same thing with you know. Wait, he didn't say he sucked. What do you mean by that? I didn't. No, I didn't say you said he sucked. I know what you said. Stuck. I said that's what you mean. You mean three out of four things stuck. So that means one of it. Wait, hold on a minute. Hold on. Yeah, three out of four things stuck, which meant one of them sucked. So essentially, yeah, most of it was really good. That's actually what he said. Most of it was really damn good. You're damn right it was. Russo Cornette aside, I think we should appreciate some other and not often mentioned writers like yes, Chris. Chris was the guy who wrote in yes, no, three or four things. Oh no, I said okay, three or four things stuck. No. There was pretty much one thing that was not good when it comes to Russo, and that was the brawl for all. Also, I hated the freaking the we went over it yesterday. What was Ken Shamrock and Steve Blackman's match? The Lions Den. But I don't even know if that was even a Russo creation, but it was on some of Russo's shows, so I'd put that on him. Yes, Chris. Chris was the 2000s writer who sadly passed away. He was really good, and
Yeah, he
Tom.
got mocked. He got mocked because he actually he put an actual effort into the characters where
Exactly.
he made freaking storyboards for them, and he's like, "Well, this wrestler wouldn't like this wrestler, and this wrestler wouldn't like this wrestler, so they
Yeah.
shouldn't really interact with each other backstage."
They mocked him because they saw how smart he was creating those boards. They didn't want him to get over as, a head writer because they saw, this Russo guy was, controlling things as a rep. They can't take it. People within the wrestling bubble cannot take when somebody outside of the wrestling bubble is writing the shows for them. And that's why poor Chris, I can't pronounce his last name, Koreski or something. That's why he was essentially bullied out of the WWE. They made fun of his storyboards and shit, when meanwhile everything he was coming up with was very interesting, really good. And Tommy Blancha, look, I mentioned, right after Russo left, there was some really good shit going on. I mentioned the Big Show, Big Boss Man stuff. That was so freaking good. Blancha was the guy who replaced Russo, and he did a damn good job. Stephanie Man had no business mocking Koreski. And look, I love Stephanie, but yeah, no business. I agree. Overdoing his job better than her. She got creative spot. She got her creative spot due to her last name. Yeah, well, I yeah, I don't get it. I really don't. That there was no reason to bully a guy just because he was doing his job. I agree with that
That
whole.
was that was early 2000s
Yeah, he was 2000.
insecure Stephanie McMahon, where
Yeah,
she had just gotten to the business and thought. Well, she was also dating Triple H, so she might have just said that shit just to fuck with Vince too.
yeah. But it wasn't just Stephanie. They're all, at least back then. Well, and I can't say it like I was there, But from what I hear, all the stories that people tell, it seemed like wrestlers back then were all anybody who was in the front office or in the locker room, they were all. What'd you say, Stephanie was paranoid, right?
Well, she wasn't paranoid. She wanted to. This was like she was brand new, so I think she started to realize like, oh, maybe I should like start coming into these writers meetings that are involving
Yeah.
the Stephanie McMahon character, and that's how Triple H was able to step in and unsummon Kurt Angle's coach.
Right. Oh man, that Kurt Angle, Triple H, Stephanie. There's a reason why when, like I said, I got heat for it in the band in the brain group. There's a reason why I picked 2000 as my favorite, second favorite, excuse me, Attitude Era year
because
after.
Triple H in the writing room was like, well, why would Stephanie ever leave me for Kurt Angle?
Yeah, that angle was so good, but it wasn't just that. Like I said, Mankind, or excuse me, Mick Foley as commissioner was so entertaining, and they, the Who Ran Over Austin episode of Raw that was a great angle. Muhammad disagreed with me. I forgot what he said. Something about I think he brought up Benoit's title match at Fully Loaded and said like that match got no build up. Yeah, it was like a no build to it, and there's a lot. See, this I want to hear what Muhammad has to say about this because a lot of people say that when Chris took over, am I saying his last name right? Koreski? Would
I
that
don't
be?
know.
Okay, well, we'll just say Chris because I don't. Chris K. When Chris K took over, everybody said that the wrestling on the weekly shows they were more focused on it. Like the matches all of a sudden were longer. I don't think they were. I think that in
Eh,
2000 it was pretty much still the same thing where they were focused on angles. The matches were.
I think it was the best of both worlds where
It
you
felt like
got you got your entertainment, which you like. You don't
yeah.
like the actual wrestling.
I
I like
wouldn't.
the actual wrestling and the entertainment.
So I wouldn't say I don't like the actual wrestling. It's just
You don't find it the most important thing.
I don't want too much wrestling on weekly shows
Yeah,
because you're taking away from building up storylines. That's just the way I see it. But I think for the pay per views, because if somebody who is just a fan of the in ring work, they will tell you that the pay per views in '99 sucked, which I disagree with. But then all of a sudden now Benoit, Jericho, which Jericho was at the end of '99, but he really wasn't on many of those pay per views. It's like he worked Armageddon with China, and most of the people that do the want the work rate, they're not gonna love a China Chris Jericho match. But once they all came in, the pay per view undercards were starting to get a little bit okay.
yeah,
Okay,
they were.
I didn't. I didn't really read the comment that much. That's why I didn't know what he was referring to. So I was referring to the Raw after Survivor Series after Austin put down Triple H with a forklift. Oh yes, committed live murder. Yeah, the next night Austin was facing Benoit 15-minute match with no buildup. I just saw a Benoit match and no buildup, and I immediately thought, oh, he's talking about the Rock match.
But
Okay.
well, I mean, but what's so wrong about that? It was just a Chris Benoit Austin match.
Was Triple H not on that Raw? Because that's what I want to know. Was Triple H?
I would imagine not. He just got fucking
Yeah,
killed the night before.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I would hope so.
yeah. So that's why I think why that would happen. Chris Benoit, I mean, Triple H just got crushed in a vehicle. He's the guy
Yeah.
Austin's feuding with.
Well,
So Triple
Also
H,
not for nothing. They this would have been 2000. So
yeah,
December of 2000. So this would have been them trying to start building up Benoit as not a world champion contender, but as a viable person who's dangerous. Because he goes for the IC title against Jericho. That feud.
the Royal Rumble, that ladder match. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, that's why I think they did that because the guy Austin is feuding with is now not going to be on the show for at least a week. He had to at least not been on that Raw.
Yeah. I
So
hope so.
that's why. And yeah, it could have been longer than. I mean, it could have been shorter. Excuse me. It could have been shorter than 15 minutes. But it's Austin. You want
Yeah.
Austin on the show for as long as you want, and
He also had a freaking hell of a match with Triple H the night before. So let's
yeah,
not like act like he's 100%.
right. obviously Christian keeps asking where we're streaming. We're on StreamYard. How are you not seeing that nothing is? I don't know what he means by that, but we're on StreamYard. Mohammed says obviously Triple H wasn't on the show. Yes, but the point is instead of Austin carrying over his okay, I see where he's going with this. He's got all that rage, the car crash and all that. He goes after a random radical wanting a wrestling match. Like, okay, I see where he's coming. I see where he's coming from on that. I get
So
that.
you think? You think Austin should just be pissed off all the time? He just got his revenge though.
Yeah,
He just basically killed Triple H. I mean, he's pretty much he's riding a high because it's not like he just takes a month off. He goes to the fucking Hell in Cell right right away.
that's a good point. That's a good point. I'll say that. But he's
He's
still a
right. He's riding
rattle.
a. He's riding.
I feel like he would still be like a little mad, like the rattlesnake. It's like, yeah,
I
all
mean,
the
the thing about.
conspiracies with the car crash and all that shit. But
I
you
mean, he
make a
got
good
he got
point. Go ahead.
he got thrown into the water by the Rock in '98, and it's not like '99. It's not like for the rest of the year he was. I'm just gonna be fucking pissed off because I got thrown into the water that one time.
Yeah, that was payback though on for The Rock because Austin threw that tag team title into the bridge.
Yeah,
I just remember I told you I've been watching '97 Raws lately. I watched that episode and I know the story. There's a story that somebody recovered the tag team title belt, but Austin threw like goggles because you swim in. He said
yeah.
the reason he said like I got everything for you to get, so you can put on all this stuff, and then when you retrieve the belt, let me know. So he had the goggles, he had the tank, the oxygen tank, flippers, a cell phone, a beeper. He threw all that into the water, and I'm like, they retrieved the belt. Who retrieved the cell phone? Imagine you're swimming, and then all of a sudden you just find a beeper, a 1997 cell phone. It's like, holy shit.
Imagine you're a fish and you see that. I'm the
Oh,
IC. I'm the Intercontinental Champion now.
it was the intercon. It was for the storyline. It was the Intercontinental Championship, but he didn't obviously throw the current Intercontinental title out over the bridge. He threw an old tag team title over the bridge. So two fishes just be like, we're the tag champs now. But I hope that tank, the oxygen tank, didn't like kill a fish. Could you imagine that? There's a fish swimming by an oxygen tank. Boom!
Just
More.
one life, and then 1 minute,
Yeah.
Austin kills him.
See, the brand members don't always agree on everything. This is more of Muhammad trying to bash 2000 here, which again, I'm not gonna hate on anybody, and I love 2000. I love the year 2000. I'm not gonna bash anybody for hating a year that I love. Christian always comes on here. He says he doesn't like 99. We get into a debate. That doesn't mean I hate him, you know. But here's what Muhammad has to say more on him talking about why he does not like the year 2000, WWE wise. Not to mention, on that same Raw, they teased Rock being a co-conspirator. This is the night after Survivor Series. I'm gonna have to rewatch. I'm gonna have to rewatch that Raw. They teased Rock being a co-conspirator along with Rikishi by saying backstage to Rikishi, "Yeah, I got your back now," and winking at him. I don't remember that. I gotta see. I gotta watch that. Okay, why didn't Austin go there? Good point. Icy Tro, you got a rebuttal to that?
What was it? It was why didn't Austin?
It's saying that I'll pull it up again. It's saying that Rikishi, Rock said to Rikishi, "Yeah, I got your back now," or maybe no, yeah, Rock said this to Rikishi, "Yeah, I got your back now," and he winked at him. So he's saying, how come Austin didn't come after Rock or Rikishi, or
Because
maybe both of them?
because I'm pretty sure it was established weeks ago that The Rock was not working with Rikishi, and
Yeah,
Austin had no reason to really believe that Rikishi was that The Rock was working with Rikishi because it already came out that Triple H was the real conspirator. Conspirator. It was
but
only really it was only expected that The Rock could have been working with Rikishi before it was revealed it was Triple H.
That
And Rikishi's just doing that just to fuck with The Rock, not even
to that
Austin.
to that argument, I don't want to make it seem like I'm on Muhammad's side because again, you and I actually, I think you and I are in agreement here against Muhammad that 2000 was great, right?
Yeah, I'm look. We're looking at this through all kayfabe, like kayfabe stuff right now,
But
basically.
to the argument of yeah, they said that Rikishi and Rock didn't work together. Then why did Rikishi's or Rock say I got your back now and then wink at him? What was that for?
The fuck with Rikishi
Okay, so you're saying, but
because he
they didn't.
because he kicked Rikishi's ass the night before.
But they didn't continue a Rikishi Rock story. Well, they kind of did because
Well, yeah, because they got Hell
storyline
in a Cell
was
coming up, so it's everyone's storyline combined.
combined, right? So yeah, okay, maybe that's what happened. Maybe he was just fucking with him.
It's also like think about like even if Austin is pissed off, he probably figures, okay, I might as well just try to kick Chris Benoit's ass as fast as I can. It proves that Benoit is maybe he thinks that Benoit's not going to be really much of a challenge. Benoit's surprised and they have a 15-minute match.
Hmm. Yeah, maybe
Just to build up Benoit because Benoit has that feud with Jericho, so that's coming up.
it's coming up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Anything else that you didn't like about 2000 WWE wise? I'm willing to I'm willing to discuss it because I who's that now? Who's that now? Me or you?
That's you. That's still you. You live in fucking you what was it? Belarus. Belarus.
Everybody's driving by at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Yeah, because you live near Queens. You're not actually Queens, but you're almost Queens.
Yeah,
You're not even on the Queens border. You're almost on the Queens border
right.
because it goes Elmont then Queens Village. So
Okay, so he says, yes, Rock kicked Rikishi's ass by the end of the show. Oh, so this is the same. Okay, I get that you didn't like this show, but I just want to know like, one show doesn't make a year better. I want to know what else you didn't
this
like.
must have been like the worst. This must have been like the worst Raw
That's
ever.
what I'm saying. I gotta watch this Raw, but I'm gonna keep reading this. However, there was one full hour until that happened. And you mean to tell me Austin had no idea, or even Cole or Jonathan Coachman running up to Austin and asking, running up to wait, so okay, Rock kicked Rikishi's ass by the end of the show. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. There's still a full hour from when he winked at him. So Austin could have did something by then. Okay. But what about the rest of the year? Because you're just going off. I get it. This may have been a bad show in your mind, but does one bad show make a year bad? I know the Attitude Era was great, but it there. I mean, '97 had some shows that weren't that great. There was one show in '98 where, and Russo said this when he reviewed it. It was like a Saturday Night Raw where like none of the angles were continued or anything because I think they didn't have that many guys on the show, and the main event was like DX versus Kyantai, some like 4 or 8 man tag or something like that.
Well, you and Muhammad can continue your debate. Christian can try to figure out how to get to join in.
Yeah.
As for me, I'm going to jump on the cottage stream that crap.
Yeah, so I'm gonna come out too. Thank you to everybody who's watched. Thank you to Muhammad for and well, Muhammad's gonna clarify. He said he didn't say the entire year sucks. Sorry if I worded it like that. No, you're good. I'm just trying to understand because I picked 2000 as the second best attitude every year, and you came in like, no, hell no, hell no. It's like it was coming off like you really hated that year's, but okay. But yeah, thank you to everybody who watched. Thank you, Muhammad, for hanging in the comments. Thank you to Christian for hanging in the comments. I'm sorry that you couldn't find the StreamYard. We're on StreamYard. I don't know why he couldn't find it. One more comment. We'll give one more comment to Muhammad, and then we're done. And just link me when you go live. Link me your stream, and I'll put it in the description. My point: 2000 felt a lot more formidable compared to 98 and 99. That's fair. Angles felt more slow burn, and a lot of older gimmicks got killed off for the sake of. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
That's changing the times, though.
That's true too.
You
Yeah.
can't keep on going with the fucking Valve. Like wrestling things have to change. You can't stay the same for too long.
Thank you, Mohammed. Says great show, boys. I know weekends is the only time you can really watch us. We don't always shoot on weekends. That sucks. But yeah, for the Nitro episodes, hit me up or I'll hit you up. We'll talk about it. We'll do it on Saturdays. And Tro gotta go, so this is gonna be it for the show.
Joe gotta go.
Icy Tro, go get killed again on what's the show? The game. What's the game though?
Call of Duty Black Ops 6 as I keep
Black
on
Ops.
getting comments from you mocking fucking Daniel Jones as I'm trying to sneak up on a motherfucker so I can do a fucking bit.
Caleb Williams 10 touchdowns tomorrow. Daniel Jones 10 interceptions tomorrow.
Yeah, but next time we do a show, it's gonna be both our teams will have played by then.
Yeah, we'll be 1-0, and the Giants will be 0. Well, no. Giants will be 1-0.
No, Frank.
That's
I just
playing the
heard you're much like how Caleb Williams is a Packer fan. You're now rooting for the Vikings to win. Okay.
I believe it's from Christian. Christian wants to know if you're playing. See, I'm not a gamer like that. I don't know what game.
I don't know what that says.
And yeah, I will let you know when we do the Nitro show, which is again the positive spin. Me and Muhammad will be doing the positive spin.
Can you guys spin a bottle?
We'll do that. We'll
You can spin the positive spin. Frankie Muhammad. A freaking bottle spinning opening.
I don't understand how you don't understand that the positive spin because everybody gives negative opinions.
And non-wrestling fans are gonna think it's like fucking spin the bottle, and you guys are just talking about 2000s Nitro.
All right, so Tro got to get killed on Black
Oh
Ops.
fuck you!
And I got to jump in there and make some Daniel Jones jokes. So thank you to everybody who's watched. Thank you, Muhammad. Thank you, Christian. And please subscribe if you enjoyed the show. We'll see you next time.